Hello? What's up?
Hey, Carl, what's up?
All right, here we go. Welcome to Bombhole Group Chat 12, presented by Run Through a Wall Smelling Salts. For those who are unfamiliar, this is a loose discussion about all things snowboarding. Most topics are submitted by our Instagram followers and our Patreon members, so we appreciate you guys. Huge thanks to our sponsors, Woodward, Bubs, and Turtlebox for this episode. In studio today, we have Jess Kimura. We got Ylfa Rúnarsdóttir, and we got Luke Giacopelli?
Giacopelli.
That's Italian for you. From Woodward's in studio. Later in the show, Nirvana, Ortanez, and Abby Fear are going to be popping in. We're going to be talking Uninvited Invitational. We're going to be talking about Val's world record backside air. We're going to be taking a call from Taylor Elliott. All kinds of good topics. It's going to be like a train derailing for the next few hours. It's pronounced run through a wall smelling salts, or is it run through a wall?
Run through the wall.
Run through the wall. That's how it is.
How's everybody feeling? Uninvited Invitational's done. You guys all put the team on your back. How we doing? Jess?
Tired. Yeah, I think everyone's exhausted, but it was amazing.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of like post-event depression right now. Just like so much stoke going into that week, and now after it's done, you're like, damn, well now what?
Mm-hmm. Pick up the garbage.
Yeah, pick up a lot of trash, pick up the fencing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple shells of humans just picking up branding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like a bit of a takes a village situation.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Jess can speak to that from her side, but at least from the Woodward Park City side, my God, the amount of work that went into it, not just from the marketing team, but from the park crew, from the first aid, from the operations team, the cat drivers, really everybody had a piece in that, which was really cool, and I think they all felt really special to be involved with this kind of event, but it was a lot, and it was worth every second of it, for sure.
I love it. Well, we're going to dive into Uninvited Invitational, but before we do, we're going to hit the ground running with some trivia. So how trivia works is you all have a buzzer in front of you. You all need a smelling salt, because if you guess and you get the question wrong, you got to do a salt. So
you might need more than one.
Take a few.
Give me more.
Give me more.
I'm going to
Really lose all of the questions.
Luke might actually intentionally get all of them wrong just because he's potentially addicted to smelling salts. He's on the team. He's on the team.
Confirmed.
And how it works is first one to buzz, you has to answer. You can't buzz and then like scratch your head and not know the answer. That's essentially a smelling salt. And Silk's got to have line of sight. So he's the one who
I can see all your buzzers right now. You're good. If it's a close call, I'll be making a decision. Don't be mad if I mess it up. But I haven't messed any up so far.
All right, welcome to Run Through a Wall Trivia. Silk, cue the theme song.
Welcome to Run Through a Wall
We do that
Trivia.
first.
Yep, it's it. Yep. Little bit of movie magic right there.
Hollywood.
Do you add personality?
I thought you were going to say
I don't need that.
I thought you were going to start singing. But
All right, we're going to get into Run Through a Wall Trivia presented by the most elite smelling salts on planet Earth, Run Through a Wall Salts. Here we go. What Icelandic snowboarder backflipped a roof cap while wearing a neck brace?
Jess.
Haldor.
That's correct. So he's keeping tally.
Yep.
If you win, you are awarded nothing. I just want to let you know that. What is Young Dolly's real name?
I know this. I know him.
this.
Lucas.
Last name?
I don't fucking know.
Silk, are we taking first name? I feel like it's a full.
I feel like I'm gonna count it, but you still have to do a salt.
What do you mean?
Or what? You didn't know the last name.
Yeah,
you didn't know
it's
the
a
last
half a
name.
point. I'm with that. I can get behind that.
You're kind of like treating me. I like this.
Joke's on you. I like the salt. All right. Next question. What is Jib Girl's real name, first and last?
Jess.
Danielle Patterson.
That's correct. Okay. At the Uninvited Invitational, what did the announcers refer to the chain link fence feature?
Jess.
Nicolas Cage.
The announcers. You mean you?
That is correct. Also me. Name one movie Nicolas Cage stars in. Come on, guys. Come on.
Come on.
Who is he? How does he
He's
look?
an actor.
Yeah, but how does he look?
Later,
like
go on
he has
YouTube.
hair,
Yeah.
He's got a hair and a face.
eyes.
As the American competitor, I feel like I should know this, and I absolutely don't, to be clear. So I'm looking at you,
There's some
Ylfa.
snakes on a plane? No.
That's Denzel
Denzel
Washington,
Washington.
but you got to do a
shouldn't
smelling
have
salt
opened
for
my
that.
mouth.
Let me get my. Hold on. Oh, I got an old guest question queued up right now. Let me mute that.
Oh my
Hang
god.
on. This is a train wreck classic.
Should ask Siri real quick.
I'm looking for buzzer. There it is. Buzzer over Stevie Bell's old guest question. All right. So
Sorry, Stevie.
next question. What brand snowboard does Katie Kennedy ride?
Luke
Lip Tech.
That's correct.
Shout out, Katie.
on the board.
In MFR's, hold on, how did I? Oh, what is MFR Marie France Roy's last trick in Rome's video? Any means, last trick.
Jess.
Frontside 270 gap on the Vermont King Rail.
Wow!
You
Wow.
slammed that button,
Wow.
Jess.
I just about broke the button.
You let him know.
You know what?
Respect.
I thought it was the front nine until I went back and watched it. I just watched it with Benoit, but it's the
Benoit?
front two. You're correct. That's
Pink jacket.
respect.
Pink plaid jacket.
Okay, which two
detail.
riders won the natural selection finals this year?
Oh, fuck.
Jess.
Marion. And I don't know about the dude because
I
I
know,
don't
I know.
care about the dudes.
Mikey's is a really.
Maybe they both get a half point?
I'll go half points.
Split it in half.
Half points.
Technically, yeah. Technically.
Did you know the girl?
Marion Harrod.
Yeah, yeah.
Harrod. I don't know how to
Harrod.
say her name though.
Ben, how do you say it?
It's French.
Hi,
Marion.
Dario.
Mario.
Okay, we're going to keep this gravy train rolling here. Name one judge from the natural selection.
Ylfa Rúnarsdóttir.
No, from the natural selection.
Now you got to do a salt for that,
Yep.
Jess. That was a full run.
I'm not even listening. I'll be honest.
Eddie Wall?
Thanks for the
Eddie Wall? Was Eddie
believe
Wall
in
judge?
Yeah, you're at the top of my mind.
Shit. I don't think, no, he wasn't. He was an announcer.
Jess.
Should I just guess?
Do I get? Does everyone get a second chance?
Yeah. Go
Jody
ahead.
Wozniak?
That's correct.
go.
There we go.
There we
There's a
go.
name.
There's a name.
There we go, guys. Way to pull it back together. All right, let's keep it moving here. What snowboard does Iris Pham ride?
Never Summer.
That's correct. Which female snowboarders ride to the song Chicken Head by Project Pat and Videograss?
It would be Desiree and Laura Hadar.
That's correct.
Wow, comeback.
Best movie ever. Original Videograss.
What snowboarder backtailed the infamous Warnzoff rail in Alaska?
No,
Looking at Jess.
I don't know. Is it?
Phil Jacques switchback tailed it in 2010. I'm
You know the answer to this.
not going to answer that.
You guys don't know the
Is
answer?
it? Is it Jess?
It's Jess. Yeah.
I don't know where
I'm
that
giving that
rail
to
is,
Elva.
but
Give Elva-
I know about the backtail, but I don't know where
Why
that
didn't you
rail
just
is.
answer it and say, because you knew it was you?
Because that's a cunty thing to say.
I've never been to Alaska. I didn't know it was there.
Hopefully you go in a helicopter, not on a street trip to Anchorage.
Good point.
Let's go to Alaska.
Okay. Who is Dara's outerwear sponsor?
686.
That's correct. He's coming for a late push.
Yeah, late,
good with the
late
brand.
push.
I'm
Yeah,
in
he's
real
got
marketing
all,
myself, I
all the
guess.
marketing questions he's got.
Save me.
Okay. What snowboard photographer's brother is the Lizard King?
Bob Plum.
Oh, wow. This could be
Wow.
a Cinderella story for Luke.
Wow.
Wait,
This
what's the
could-
score?
Yeah, what's the
Do
score?
we want to update?
Yeah, give us an update.
Right now, Jess is in the lead with 5.5 points.
Nice.
Luke is in second with 5.
Wow.
And Ylva, you have 2.5.
2.5.
And a half?
2.5.
Yeah, I thought I was a 2.
All right, get those buzzer hands ready here. Jerome Tannen shot the cover of the December issue of Slush Mag with what rider?
Come on.
Why don't you get in the hunt, Ylva?
Is it you?
You get hit the buzzer.
Jess?
Ylva.
Yeah.
Rúnarsdóttir.
It was Ylva.
Yeah,
Oh, that was Jerome.
that was your own. Yeah.
That one seems
Photographers
like
never
too
get
much of
the
an easy answer, you know? I was like, it can't be that one.
That's what I was thinking with Jess's back tail, but I was like, that can't be there if she's not saying anything.
That's why I didn't.
I appreciate the softball questions, Chris.
You know, I'll be honest with you. Our production team puts these questions together about 5 minutes before you walk in the door. So
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I did. The production team being me. What was the name of Jess Kimura's web series on Transworld?
This I don't know.
They're
Go for
young.
it.
They're young.
Go for it. This
What
I don't know.
Barely.
That's correct. So that's a landslide at this point. Jess, I'd like to congratulate you. You win nothing. You win respect.
Thank
you win
you.
respect.
Thank you.
Good job, Jess.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, team.
I was rooting for her anyway.
Right before we went on air, Ylfa, you were talking about how
Yep.
you just recently went in a helicopter. I'd love to hear about that.
I went to Baldface, and I got to fly a helicopter in, and it was so sick. This machine is crazy. Like, it's just like the walls are like paper thin, and like if you touch them, the window might fall out. I heard, but I touched it, but very carefully. But it was like just staying there, and it's shaking, and then, and I'm expecting it to run a little bit before the leap or something, but nothing. Just
Did you have
straight
a window
up.
seat?
Yeah, I was like way first in line. Like,
Wait, so were you actually flying it?
yeah, no, what? No,
Passenger.
window seat.
Passenger,
Like,
okay.
yeah.
All right, don't get it twisted.
First time in a helicopter, grab the controls. This thing's taking off.
Wow,
I would love to be on that helicopter.
it was amazing.
What were you doing, Baldface? What was the event all about? I'm not entirely sure what this whole thing was.
So Estelle has this event up there, which is super cool, where you bring like pros, AMs, and then like younger up and coming riders. And so a lot of the pros or AMs take someone with them up there to show them kind of the backcountry, because it's like not that accessible, like we know, to most people. And so it's kind of just like the sponsors of the event pay basically most of the fee for these riders to come up and like just get an intro with legends to the backcountry. So it was really cool. Like, super fun event, good vibes. Everyone is like cat skiing and riding together.
Did you guys do any AV stuff or just like how to build jumps and whatnot?
Yeah, a little run through on like safety and stuff, but as you know, like this time of year is not that much snow, so it wasn't super like a lot of new snow or anything, but we went through some safety, and then it was more like hitting natural stuff. I'd say maybe someone patted down one or two things, but it was like mostly just like riding together in a big group where everyone is like, or especially like the pros or the AMs that have done it before, they're kind of backing and like you go first, like take the lip first, take the good landing.
Did somebody bring you, or who invited you?
I actually got invited like pretty late on because Burton was sponsoring the event.
Cool.
If I would have been on earlier on the program, I could have brought someone, but it was just a little bit too hectic too. But yeah.
I love that. Now, how's your body? I know you just recently had an injury. How are you feeling? How's your body feeling?
I'm not fully back, but I'm almost there. I'm still doing my rehab and cruising, some low impact stuff, and yeah, just working on it, I'd say.
I love it. And now, Luke, for the listeners that don't know what your role is over at Woodward, I'd love you to fill them in on you can give us your super professional title name.
Yes, my super professional title at Woodward Park City is the brand activation and events manager.
Wow.
You guys, you've been like William Wallace from Braveheart, just like devouring events. I mean, we did Dust Bomb like 6 months ago, it feels like.
Yeah, like
and
a
you
year
just
ago.
haven't even taken your foot off the gas. And then you ended with the grand finale.
The grand finale, yeah. It's been a really fun winter. It's been a great winter. The Braveheart reference comes from the last 4 days at Uninvited when I had my yellow high-vis vest on, and I think I had a chest pack with 2 radios on, just going back and forth, running around, so felt like Braveheart out there. But yeah, it's been a super fun winter, and definitely have a really fun job up at Woodward Park City, and my role basically is to bring Woodward Park City to life on a daily basis, like starting from like little consumer touch points, the music in there, to large-scale events like the Uninvited.
I like it. And Jess, I'd love to hear a breakdown from your perspective over just doing the uninvited and how that went for you?
That's a big question. And I haven't really had a minute to think about that yet, but I know that if we didn't have Luke, we would have been fucked. I mean, yeah, we would. He kept us going when we wanted to give up because he just always has such high levels of energy. And he's always, woo, woo. But yeah, I don't know. It takes, of course, everything takes more than you can see, like behind the scenes, than what you can see on the surface. But this was an insane year and a lot of hard times and a lot of sacrifice to get here. So going into those meetings with Luke throughout the year made it feel like that was that boost that I needed. To keep going and not just pull the plug on the whole thing.
And also, I don't know if everybody's familiar with the fact that there was a feeder system for the whole thing. Like you had the qualifying, and I would love to hear you talk about that whole process.
Yeah, so originally we were going to do a qualifier in Canada and in Europe because it's just harder for those riders to get over here and harder for them to break into the industry in general. So there's so much talent that as soon as someone sees it that person can go somewhere in snowboarding, but otherwise they're never going to see it. So the Canada one fell through because of weather and venue stuff, but the one in Europe was insane. We found so much new talent there, that new talent to us, but like they had been there all along, and that's what's crazy. It was just so crazy seeing the girls there, like, yeah, Kylie and Livia and Celine, and obviously Telma, already world famous in my heart, but yeah, they're so good. And where were they? Where was everyone for them? You know, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'd never heard of Telma before that event, and now I'm a gigantic fan.
Yeah, she's the sickest. And then we had our wild card qualifier too, because we wanted everyone out there to have a chance to go. So that was like an online contest through Instagram, and we found, like, I mean, Jess Perlmutter is probably gonna. This is the beginning of a very long story for her, I think, and we found her through that. I didn't even know she was 14. You know, we had over 50 entries or something, and had to pick 6. So she would have been in there whether or not she was 14. But when she showed up at registration, I was like, "Can I help you?"
That's so good.
Yeah, she's so sick.
East Coast is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the future. Her board control, her technical skills, the way she waits and pops her tricks and body composure, bright future. Definitely the future. There's
And
no
just
doubt about
the
it.
like determination.
I was
Like,
just
she
gonna say
wants
determination.
it like so much, and
Yeah.
you can tell like every time she drops in, she's like. She reminded me of Maria for some reason. Like when she was dropping in, she was so pumped. Like I was just like, "Yep, she loves this."
Yeah, she was like sprinting back up the hill to get another drop every time. It was
Yeah, like
what are
you could tell
yeah.
how much she like wants it too, which is sick.
I love that. We have some questions that Mark Dangler from CAPiTA came up with. They're kind of hot takes, a lot of them around the uninvited. So they're all directed towards, some of them are for all of us, some of them are just from Jess or whoever. But Silk, why don't you pop these off?
Yeah, we're gonna start with a question for Jess. You can add in one dream sponsor for the Uninvited Invitational 2025. Who is it?
Shit, I'm going Visa or an airline so that we can fly everyone from. There's so many girls who are just as good, if not better, than like most of the pros in North America right now, but nobody's ever heard of them because they can't afford to get here. They don't have an opportunity to be seen. So either Visa, I don't know if they just sponsor you with money, do they? But
I mean,
cool.
kind of.
Yeah.
Visa debit card.
yeah,
Unlimited budge.
unlimited budget. But yeah, just or an airline.
Wow. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, we have another one for Jess. We have a couple back-to-back here, so saddle up. You can add in one dream location for an uninvited qualifier 2025. Where is it?
I would, Japan and the East Coast. So somewhere that the two places that there is a lot of talent, but not a lot of coverage and opportunity.
All right. One celebrity to attend the Uninvited Invitational 2025. Who is it?
Shit. Ylfa, will you help me with this?
Oh,
I'd say Rihanna personally over here.
Damn.
Would love
Yeah.
to see her out there.
Some-
That
Yeah,
girl, Riri.
I don't know. Some girl power artist.
I'd
for
say
sure.
Taylor Swift because she'd bring a large crowd with her, but I would hope she didn't
I
sing.
hate that answer, Jess.
No.
Can we get like a cooler artist?
I like T Swift.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Because
That's your
of the
answer.
crowd.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I want
Yeah.
people to I am about a means to an end, and I want a huge amount of people there screaming for the girls.
yes. I see that.
But I don't want her to sing. Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah. Some like I like Rihanna.
I wouldn't mind if she sang. I'm gonna be honest. But anyway, that's not. Go. All right.
All right,
what
next
else we got?
question.
Yeah.
Next question. Uninvited is a house in Game of Thrones. Which one is it?
It's the North,
The Starks.
the
Right?
Starks, yeah, the underdogs.
Never
be.
seen it.
I know he wanted me to say Jason Momoa to that previous question, but I'm not going to say it.
Is that Aquaman?
That's Aquaman.
Classic.
All right, this one's for Ylfa. Who did the judges miss? Your MVP outside of the top 5.
Fucking everyone, dude. But jeez, or we didn't miss everyone. I'll take that back. We personal favorite, like it was kind of like fucking hard, but I do think probably for my personal favorite of style, like Annika would have been probably in the top 5, but that's just a personal. But I'm so hyped on the top 5, so I don't even I stand for it hard for sure. Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I don't think the judges missed anything. I think they were on it.
This one is incredible.
Okay, this is a question for everybody. Best sign in the crowd at the event.
With all those tricks going down, I did not have time to read those, at all.
I remember this is what happens when you support women. I'm trying to think of all of them. Like Egan for president.
There's a Let's Go Slaties.
Let's go Sladies.
Yeah, I think this is why you support women in snowboarding, because I remember just seeing that sign last year, and just that was my takeaway of it, of how impactful it is, and that just kind of sums up the event as a whole,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was also a photo of this little girl holding something like "I'm that motherfucking bitch," and she was she was 9 years old or something. It was kind of funny. I think I didn't see it then, but at that at the event, I think.
Yeah. Maybe an honorary to stand for his Katie Kennedy face body paint.
Oh, yeah.
Cat dog.
Cat
Yeah,
dog.
cat dog.
I was actually trying to get him removed by security because he was just so sweaty and
But you were trying to get Zach Hale to take his shirt off, and then you were trying to get Stan Muth
Yes.
for taking his shirt off. We're
Bit
getting
of a-
mixed
bit of a
signals
double
here.
standard,
yeah, a little contradiction there.
Okay, next question. What was the best placement of an uninvited tattoo that you saw?
Elva's mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy
That was
answer.
Hannah goes, okay, we should pick one for each other, and I go yeah, get a neck tat. That's sick as fuck. And she goes, and I'm like, no. She's like, you said yes, so you have to do it. And I'm like, okay.
All right, hypothetically, we get a GoFundMe going. You have to get the uninvited mustache tattoo permanently on your body. What's your number?
I kind of think that I don't know the number, but I want a house, car, and a salary for life, and then I'd do it. If I don't have to apply for work ever, I'm down. I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If I can just snowboard and
I don't know what the Icelandic to USD is, so it's hard to say. I don't know what the ratio is, but
yeah, just bump it up a double from what you're thinking.
a few mil and we'll call it good.
Yeah.
Get that GoFundMe going.
All right. This one's for Jess. Behind the scenes MVP of the uninvited. Who is it?
I mean, 2 of them are sitting in the studio today, Luke G and Ben Block. Ben slept in his camper in the parking lot for a month, just short of a month, every single night, working every single day, building that setup. and making something totally impossible possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think a couple more I'd say from the park crew at least, like Maddie Montgomery, Jack Reed, Rory Bruder, Jacob Lees, Fons, all of them had like the whole park crew had like a huge part in that for sure.
Well, that was the next question. So,
Okay.
So we're good.
Hopped in,
I'll
sorry.
skip that one. No, you're good. You're good. This one's for Jess and Ylfa. Après vibes, uninvited Euro qualifier, or the uninvited invitational in the U.S.
I actually didn't make it out to the Euro one.
Uninvited invitational, VIP, Ylfa in the mosh pit.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, let's do that because I was here on this one, so I choose this one.
All right, this is almost the last one. Just kidding. Second to last one. This is for everybody. Start the betting early. Who is taking home the uninvited crown 2025?
Jess Perlmutter or Telma.
I agree, but I'm also
there's
gonna
no way
throw
to know.
another name in the mix. I'm thinking that girl Jalen.
Yeah.
She might just like fucking, I don't know, learn 15 tricks more, and she's hungry now.
Her nose
She
press
was
is
doing
insane.
great out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Iris.
She
Beta
got the
Howland,
slam,
too.
the bail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got the bail.
I think she's on one. Like,
There's just no way to know.
No.
That's the sick thing about it.
It depends on the setup because different setups favor different riders. Like Egan
sure.
likes to fly down stuff. You know, Naima thrives on the transition features. I do think Telma, like when it comes to rail technician, her bag of tricks is deep. Like it keeps going. And when you really look at the way she attacked the whole course, and that probably just threw some gas on the fire. So I might side with the Telma might be my 2025 pick if we're doing early predictions.
I think that also this is like a huge part that went into the judging. Not only is Telma like that on the rails, but on every single feature.
Yeah.
Also the quarter pipe, also the hip,
Yep.
doing like switch tricks on the hip. Barely anyone did that but Telma. So there was like, even like being so noticeable on the rails, her like other tricks maybe went unseen, but she was doing big tricks on the hip too. Yeah. And we're like, wow, like that's being like, she had it all covered, like the whole setup.
And her style on the hip was like I barely got to see anything because I was so busy doing making things happen. But I would just see out of the corner of my eye, like hear everyone yell because she just stomped something off the rails, and then just have this like, yeah, bitch energy on the hip that was like, that's what's up, like so confident, and like that's not how her personality is, but she was like, yo, in your face, bitch, you know, not to the other girls, but just so confident, and I love seeing that.
Oh yeah. We have
one more. We have one more.
Yep.
I think this is for everybody. Who is a bigger fashion icon, Jules or Silo?
Silk.
Oh, there must have been a typo in the text.
Jules or Silk?
Jules or Silk? Jules or myself? Okay.
Wow.
Is this for everybody?
I think that's for Chris.
Yeah, it
Chris,
doesn't
you
say,
see
so I'm
most of
saying
their
everybody.
outfits.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with Silk personally. I feel like you are a fashion icon. She's more of a fashion.
She's more just an icon.
She's just an icon. Yeah, I like that. And she wants to be called a fashion icon so bad because we call Silk a fashion icon all the time. And so that's my reason for continuing to give it to Silk because it's fun for us here at the
Well, I'm going to
office.
take that as a win. Everybody else, you have to answer.
All right, let's rip through some Instagram.
Silk.
Oh, yeah, Silk? Yeah, what do you got, Luke?
I'll say Jules does come correct. She's got some pretty 6D, but you're looking really dope today, Silk.
All right, I'll take that.
Did you?
Take that.
What's your take?
Mine.
Yeah.
I kind of need more outfits. Like I need
pull this
to. I don't see you guys that often.
Look at those shorts though.
I don't see you guys that often, but I guess I see Jules more. So Jules,
Wow.
I've seen more outfits.
So I'm for Silk.
Jules.
Jules is an icon. Silk is the fashion icon.
So
a
the
win.
so it's a 50-50 split. Benoit is the Benoit is the decider. Give him the mic. Who's he got?
I'd say Jewel is a, what do you say, curator,
A curator?
and he's wearing it.
Okay.
So he's the icon.
Like
So
she comments on stuff, but he's wearing stuff.
So he's so you're
taking
saying
that.
he's the fashion icon.
Yeah,
In
I
other
think
words, yes. It
We love you,
sounds
Jules.
like, yeah, I'm gonna assume.
Okay. All
Sorry,
right.
Jules.
Let's rip into some Instagram questions here. This one's from Zed Shreds. To Jess, where did the inspiration for the uninvited course / features come from?
Countless screaming arguments between me and Ben this winter. Ben, you want to take that one? I wanted 2 stair sets, and we had a lot of fights over that because 2 stair sets is just exorbitant, but I wanted them to show up and be like, this is an exorbitant setup, even though he knew that the labor of that was, and the pressure of that was going to fall on him, but we have 2 stair sets. I won.
Yeah, she did win.
Didn't you feel it was exorbitant? 2 stair sets?
Looked
I don't
insane.
know what exorbitant
I don't know
means.
the
I'm
word
actually
either.
confused, but can we
It's like over.
Yeah.
over the top?
We need
Over
a
the top.
definition on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Educated.
What do you want to know?
Where did the inspiration for the setup come from?
Just like nowhere in particular, just making sure it looked as street as possible, even though it's on the mountain, and not favor the slope style people, but favor the street people.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole event is centered around favoring the street people because there's so many options and resources going to the slopestyle people. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but the street girls just need more. They need more motivation to keep going, just to bridge that gap until they can actually make a living from it because there's just like the haves and the have-nots. And we want to help the have-nots until they can become the haves.
Can we talk about the stairs? And I love the stairs and how you test them to make sure they're safe for the riders. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that I'm always thinking about what we can do for the street girls. And when I look at the slopestyle girls, they have airbags, they have training stuff. And the girls in the streets, if they want to try some crazy trick on a stair set, like there's no in between. And so I was like, why don't we just make foam stairs? That would be sick. Then they don't have to be scared when they're hitting the stuff. And it's not just that in the contest, but it's more like for those there that they may not win and they may not get anything out of it, but realize a opportunity to practice a trick that they want to do next year in the streets and get used to seeing stairs underneath them every try and just getting that into their head to being able to believe that they can do it. And that's like, I want this to benefit them going into next season too. So that's the stairs. And then I always test them just to make sure they're safe. This year they were extra safe.
Yeah, and you explain the testing process. I think that's...
I just kind of take a couple steps, running start to a ragdoll down the stairs.
Is there a video of you testing
my
these
God.
stairs?
Yeah, there's a video.
Okay,
I think Rigo has that one.
I've tracked it down.
Okay.
We're
Oh my
watching it.
God. That is hilarious.
I love that. And one thing for the uninvited, we got to talk about 55 grand cash purse.
Technically 56 grand, but I was like, that sounds
So
weird.
crazy.
So we're going to say 55.
First of all, like to everybody that supported that, it was fucking the energy at that event was like my heart was full. It was the best vibes. And we have some questions. I mean, one of this is more of Big Maddie 2021 says, talk about the funding. Wow, those were some impressive checks. Well deserved. Do you want to elaborate on? I think it's bigger than Dew Tour. It's bigger than any FIS event. It's bigger than any World Cup. It's bigger. I mean, it's bigger. It's bigger than any major fucking contest. Bigger than the goddamn Olympics, for Christ's sake. Like, hope you're proud of that. And it's important. So,
I think that's because this event is not like people behind the scenes are not benefiting from it. All the money that goes into this goes straight back to the riders. But all the other events that you counted, they probably have more funding, honestly, but they take
They
it
have
as
way
a
more
benefit.
funding.
So
Way more
there's
funding.
like, that's why this is a huge, because these people are fucking it. They know and they care so much about the riders. So that's why the paychecks are huge. Because these guys are sleeping in their car and not taking into a 5-star hotel for a month to build the setup. Like, that's the difference. Fuck,
Yeah.
it's crazy. We love you guys.
I've
We
been in a couple of
appreciate it.
those meetings with Jess with sponsors too, and it's not the simple like here's your money. It's like Jess spends a lot of time like preparing these decks and showing them that these brands the value, and it's a lot of work. So it's not an easy thing that Jess did with this money.
Yeah, you got anything to add to that, Jess?
I mean, there's so many things that had to happen and so much extra work and so much extra steps to keep that. Sorry.
Yeah, Jess.
Hey.
Yeah, Jess.
To keep that price purse up.
Fuck yeah. And the sacrifices that you guys are making to like keep those tags the way they are. That's like unreal. That's like, I don't know, like any events that do that in that matter,
I mean,
it's crazy.
Me being paid as a pro snowboarder is what makes this possible because I don't take any money from this event. I don't get paid for any of the work that I do for it. And I don't want to, but it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I hope next year we can find like more funding so that I can hire more people to help and make it a little easier.
Yeah. This is probably, I don't know if I'm stepping in like wrong, but I feel like a lot of people that are working behind the scenes, they are doing it all voluntarily. Like, that's not normal with the other events. Like, what if the other events are having hundreds of people showing up for them, volunteering to help out and not take a paycheck? Like, this is how sick this event is.
100%.
Like, that's how much people care.
But I want to speak on something too, and just from my perspective, the announcing that contest, the amount of like my heart exploding and the vibe and the energy and the like whatever, there is no monetary value that comes close to the experience that we shared for that event. I'm not fucking around with you. I'm not bullshitting like Jess like that. Like, I mean, try not to fucking tear up when you're watching awards and when you see the energy and the positive wave behind it. I saw some shit I needed to see there that I was missing, and the impact is fucking real. So, I mean, it was special.
Yeah, I think the moment that really, I feel like every single person was crying when this happened was when Jess talked about, I think it was when you won the 2009 Hot Dogs and Handrails and you won $500 and the males won $10,000, and you said, today I'm giving away $55,000 fucking dollars. That was just like
For fourth place or whatever, or $55,000 total. Sorry, yeah.
Right.
If I remember, you said something about $5,000 for fourth place or something, which is
it's just like so amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy, it was $5,000 for fourth place.
Yeah, that's but it's not insane because fourth place could have won.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah,
other
right.
event
Good
of
point.
the year,
Good point.
fourth place would have won. Like
People
this
that
is
weren't on the podium could have won.
Yeah.
fucking
100%.
hell. Like this event is crazy like that, and that's also like something that shows you like it's for the community. There's 5 placements and a bunch of like standouts because like this is to spread the love kind of thing.
Yep.
It's not about that one person on the top. It's like about the whole thing, and it shows, and the girls know it, and everyone's on board with that, and like the vibes at the drop-in, like I wasn't there, but I've heard, like everyone is just rooting for each other and pulling each other in for more speed and like not telling your idea it's crazy, but like, fuck yeah, you got that. And like, that's the vibe that's going on up there. It's not like, I hope she fails her big trick, so then
Yeah, not
my
at all.
safe trick is good enough. Fuck no.
Even though
Everyone's
there's so much money on the line.
yeah, everyone's like all in, just like they want it so bad, but they also want their friends to get it so bad.
I think a note on that, our head ski patroller manager, Janelle, she was actually a ski patroller for the first televised X Games, and she came up to me and she was like so just shocked that all the girls were so stoked on each other and hyping each other up, and everyone was so nice and friendly, and she was like, what is going on here? This is so insane,
100%. And another point to make is like the judging panel. I don't remember. You had yourself, Jill,
Yep.
MFR, who rider of the year. Who am I forgetting?
Melissa Rattano.
Melissa. Yeah.
And then Katie
And then
Cook,
Katie.
who's
Katie-
one of 3 Olympic level judges in
Totally.
the world.
So
Female.
it's like a lot of times you want to have like you got problems with judging. It's like I don't think there's a more credible staff of people that have done it in their careers to say they have the experience, they have the eye, they've been there, they've done it. And so, I mean, all across the board, it's just awesome. And you guys had a live stream this year.
Yeah. Have you watched the beginning of it?
I have not.
Okay, you guys should, and everyone out there should,
Yeah.
because that hits. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just watch it.
Fuck.
We put, yeah, the whole thing that about this event is like the attention to the details, and we really weren't prepared to be able to pull off a sick live stream, but everyone just kind of rallied to do what they could, and I don't know, it was so crazy watching that, and like the theme music playing and the intro videos, and like Craig and Dara coming in. Like, speaking of all the people that are doing stuff for free, like, I don't know, we haven't talked yet about paying you for announcing, but we have.
I'm not expecting any. Let's
do it on the group chat so he doesn't take the payment. Let's know exactly how to do it.
I will
This is
not
not a
accept
trap.
payment. I will not accept payment.
But like all these,
We got it here,
All
on the
these
group.
professionals that came together to give the event that extra polish, and so many of them just did it for free, or just did it like the video people too, and the photographers, and everyone. It's not like we don't pay people. We do pay people, and we pay them well, but we can't pay everyone well.
Let's talk about something else than money. God, fuck that. You guys are so American, except the Canadian.
I'm Canadian. But the live stream, that was super cool to be able to have that, and I know all the girls were riding during it, but I just want them all to watch it and watch the beginning where the intro and their video portraits and all that stuff, you know, like it'll make you cry, or at least it made me and Ben cry. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think-
I need to watch it. I just needed a couple of days.
Dude, I need a couple of days
Yeah.
too, but we still had a watch party. And Dara, really, she did so
I
good.
didn't see it. How'd you do?
She did great. She said USD like 1,000 times.
What is USD?
It's US dollars. So like anytime there would be any mention of money, she'd be like, "That's USD, Craig. USD." Because to Canadians, any amount in USD is like feels like twice as much.
Like pesos, basically.
That's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's amazing.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard people talk about how well Dara did as an announcer.
Yeah, she killed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and Craig's a damn professional too. I haven't seen it, but all right, we got a totally random question I just saw that I think would be an interesting one. Is it called a tame dog or a nollie front? Talking about front flips. This is from Shreddy.
None.
What do you call it?
A front flip.
I like that. Any other takes?
Isn't it a tame dog if it's off like a knuckle, but it's off a jump? It's a front flip.
I have never not heard
I believe that,
but It's Canadian way of saying it, no?
wild cat. When you do a wild,
Yeah.
No, Wildcats Canadian.
a wild cat's Canadian, but a tame dog would be
It's
quite
like
literally
front
the
flip,
opposite
like,
of a
straight.
wild cat. So
Yeah.
tricks. I'm not the trick police here.
Yeah,
Call
I
it
feel like I
whatever you
haven't
want.
left the ground in like 4 years. So I was just gonna let Ylfa do that one.
Yeah.
Ben-
I don't know. Like, I've heard it, but I don't like it. That's why I say
Yeah.
none. I don't like the tame dog. I think...
If you call a trick and I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about, you know what I do have I got one gripe while we're on the subject. It just popped in my head. I'm gonna say it. People have been referring to switch backside as swack.
hate it.
What?
Hate
Swack
it.
5.
I hate it.
Can we stop that? Can we stop the swack?
Yeah,
I'm
please.
a big anti-swack guy.
That's like
Same.
came this last year. I feel like too. I haven't heard it before
Yeah.
this year.
No,
But
no.
It's very
It's
prevalent.
been around, but it sucks.
Slope style culture. It's slope style culture.
Yeah, or Instagram. I feel like
Yeah.
Insta edit.
Sounds like a ski trick.
Yeah.
Sounds like, kind of, yeah.
I swack 9 the bottom jump. No.
No, I don't like it.
I'm good with tame dog though. I'm good with front flip and all the above.
Yeah.
Let's just stop with the swack. Let's stop with the swack. All right, we're going to talk to you guys about some speakers. I'm a big fan of these speakers. We're talking Turtlebox, and they deliver the best sounding, most durable, portable speakers available. Let me tell you, you can put these things through the ringer. So the Turtlebox Gen 2 portable speaker is 100% waterproof while boasting best-in-class audio and up to 20 plus hours of playtime. You don't need to charge it. You can be slapping tunes for 20 hours. As a plus, you can pair multiple Turtlebox speakers together at the same time to enjoy a true AB surround sound experience. Simply put, the Turtlebox is an extremely fun product designed for days at the mountain, on the water, in the backyard, and everywhere in between. To learn more, check out turtleboxaudio.com and get yourself that Gen 2 portable speaker. It's a great product. Slap some tunes, have some good times with your friends. All right, we're going to take a break and talk about Woodward Park City. Now, we're 9 to 5ers here at the Bomb Hole. A lot of times after work, it's dark. You know what? Woodward's got you covered. They got lights. So you might see Silk D, when he gets done production, he's out there busting down the Woodward Park. So it's great setup. They got all the stuff for beginners. If you want to learn how to slide your first box, if you want a bunny slope and learn how to ride a snowboard for the first time, all the way up to great kickers. They got a super pipe at peak season, which is very rare. We're talking a lot about half pipes. They got a great half pipe. So be sure to check out Woodward Park City. One thing that I think is cool is I see a lot of the kids in there practicing into the foam pit, practicing their back sevens, and then they can go take it out to snow, which is really cool opportunity for kids to progress. They're all about progression. And they also have $40 lift tickets, which is unheard of in this day and age. So gotta respect them for that. You can pay $119 and get a month of unlimited outdoor riding. That's a great deal. So if you're looking for a fun place to bust down on your snowboard with some good friends, good people, be sure to check out Woodward Park City. All right, I want to talk about what I think, and I'm not being fucking dramatic. I want to be very clear, like what I think was the most iconic moment in snowboarding this past winter. Not an exaggeration by any stretch of the means. If anybody has listened to Taylor Elliott's podcast that we did with her, she went into detail explaining about how she has MS, and she hand-planted the top of Nicolas Cage, which is unbelievable. But the fact that did anybody want to take this one of why it's so special?
I mean, Tay showed up to the event last year not knowing if she could ride, and she was just having symptoms of what she would later find was an MS diagnosis. And she was only able to see out of one eye at that point, and she hand-planted the dumpster, and it was so sick. But obviously, through this past year, her symptoms have developed to the point that she really has trouble walking sometimes or often. And when she's strapped into her snowboard, for whatever reason, she's way more solid than when she's just standing on her 2 feet. And there's just something about it that's probably like some muscle memory thing, something. It just doesn't affect her in the same way, so she's able to ride some days, not all days, but just the fact that she has to basically be carried up to the course and carried down from the course, but then went and hand-planted the sickest feature in the sickest way before anyone did it. And even after, throughout finals, nobody came close to the way that she did it and how she did it, and it was incredible and such an inspirational moment. And that was beautiful.
Yeah, we saw her like come out of that hand plant and like ride out of there, and I'm not lying, like 15 people just run up to her, and like everyone is crying at this point. Like this is so big and like so special, and like everyone is just like their eyes are watering, and they're helping her to strap out of the board to carry her up because she was shaking after this, both probably the adrenaline and like everything. And then it was just like so special. It was unreal.
It's fucking magic. It's like it's almost like a moment from a movie when you're watching, and like there's like this unbelievable like miracle.
Yeah.
That literally is what happened. Like she like gets like when she straps in her snowboard, she can do incredible things, like the best hand plant that was done all weekend, but then she can't walk. It's unbelievable. We're gonna call Tay right now. I let her know we were gonna give her a ring. Well, let's have her hear what she has to say about this experience. Hopefully she picks up. Hopefully she doesn't block. She didn't block our call.
Hello.
Hey Tay, you're in studio right now with we got Luke G, we got Jess, we got Ben B, we got Ylfa, we got Silk, and yeah, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What a great crew.
Oh,
Happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we want to hear about the iconic and direct experience for Taylor Elliott at the Uninvited Invitational.
The Andrak experience. Honestly, dude, it was just crazy because everything I did, it was like, oh, that's sick. I can still hit a down rail. Like, cool. That's awesome. And then that morning I was talking to Brandon and he's like, I don't think you should go for, like, stay away from the wall ride. Like, I know what you're going to do there. And I was like, yeah, for sure. That's a good idea. Like, that's a good idea. Like, we agreed to it, And then I was like, I'm just going to hit it. I'm going to feel it out. And then he was like, well, if you're going to hit it, just go for the Handplant. And yeah, so I went up the wall ride and it just felt like home. And I just knew it was in there. And it worked out, but I mean, it's just crazy. My body can still do that. You know what I mean? I mean, it was so highly emotional for me.
For everyone.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sent a shockwave through the crowd when that happened.
Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy. It's just crazy it's in there,
Yeah, especially thinking
crazy.
the carving seemed like a goddamn miracle.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like everything on my snowboard has been enough for me. I've come to terms with that. And then this weekend, I mean, I blew past my own mental barriers of what I'm capable of too,
Yeah, how were you feeling after that? It seemed like your bucket was pretty full when you were sitting in the chair.
So full. Yeah, dude. I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm tired for sure. I'm in bed right now, actually, but it's worth it.
Wow.
Amazing. And then as far as the event, Tay, how did you feel the event was while you were hanging? How was your experience?
Dude, it was so amazing. And, obviously huge props to Jess and every single one of you who are involved. It's just amazing to see the progression of women snowboarding and the support that is being created from, Jess just smashing barriers. And just to watch finals day from the deck, I mean, I was mind blown. I just think women's snowboarding is in such a beautiful place. And it's all thanks to Jess and all the women who have pioneered before, and it's really special to see and that all these women have a platform and will continue to have one. And it's just a special thing to be a part of and to watch the Uninvited grow into what it is today has been, I mean, it's beyond words. It really is incredible.
Absolutely. Amazing. Cool, Tay. You got any other plans for the rest of the winter? Are you going to keep going or are you hanging it up for the year? What are you thinking?
I'm hanging it up. Man. I think I'm good. I filled my cup.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll put the board away again. But but next winter, man.
Well, thank you on behalf of all of us for just fucking that was inspiring is almost an understatement. I hate to say that word sometimes, but that was a really special moment. So thanks for doing that, Tay.
I think
thank you.
We're all
I appreciate you guys.
Remember it for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
I will for sure. It's huge.
That's really special.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Well, Tay, thank you for taking the time and catching up with us real quick. We appreciate the quick check-in.
Hell yeah, you guys have a good chat. I can't wait to tune in.
Okay.
Love you, Tay.
See you, Tay.
Love y'all.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
I feel like that should be a cover. I'm not a magazine person. Whoever took one of those photos, that should be on the fucking cover of a magazine.
Let's make it happen.
It's been cool seeing her this year. She worked really closely with us at Woodward with the Woodward Roundup, which was Jill Perkins' event. And she was kind of while Jill was traveling, kind of my go-to for all that stuff. And it's been cool seeing her transition to, out of the pro snowboard career into kind of this new blossoming career in snowboarding. And she was so helpful. And I think to add to what you guys are talking about of the hard time walk into snowboarding, it's any time she'd come to Woodward, which she came up a good amount this year, we'd have to give her a sled ride up and she'd hop right off and help her through the line. And the second she got in a snowboard, you just see a change in her and just shredding, and that wasn't the first Handplant she's done this year either. We were doing some mini pipe laps earlier this winter and she was going in, dude, and it was so inspiring. And just like her stoke and how happy she was snowboarding was just like a reminder of why we do it, you know?
Absolutely. Love it. And mega props to you guys for giving her a sled ride anytime she wants to go snowboarding. That's
Love it. We love sled
amazing.
laps.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, I got an interesting question here. This is from Josh Under. It says, why do men feel threatened by social media posts that explicitly say support women?
Do they?
I mean, that's a question.
Are you looking at me in this one?
Well, we're the
You're
only men
men.
in here. We are really the
Yeah.
only ones that can speak on that. Silk's probably actually got an eloquent answer for this. Silk?
Nice. Yeah, that's a good segue to put me on the spot. I mean, I do think that 99% of men do, if not 100%, maybe more, feel it more than the others. But I mean, men have been in the position of power forever and still are. And not every man thinks that they are or is aware of what that means. But then you see something like that and it feels like it could be trying to take something away from you, which it isn't. But I think that's part of the reason of like where that comes from, and a lot of like insecurity too, probably. Yeah.
Wise answer.
This could have happened 10 years ago. These girls are not just good by chance right now. They've always been good, and they just didn't have a chance to show it. And women's snowboarding would be light years ahead of its time if we hadn't been kind of shit on for so long. And I think the thing about the guys feeling threatened, like, we're just so used to being shit on that we don't get rattled when as easily, I think, as someone who just isn't used to hearing their position be challenged at all, or people taking it personally when someone tells them they're in a position of privilege and they say how they work 40 hours a week or whatever, or how they built themselves up. Like, that's not what it is. It's just, I think that we're just more resilient because we're kind of used to it.
Yeah. I think like what you're saying, like this could have happened 10 years ago, I like fully agree on that, because what is happening is like every single person there is dropping and seeing a role model dropping. Like they're all seeing each other do it. And like 10 years ago, there was like, it was pretty rare to find a girl at the park that would ride with you, or, you know, because there wasn't that many that dared to take up the space, and whoever did kind of got put on so far ahead that there wasn't this middle, there wasn't anything relatable on the way. There was like the superstars of snowboarding, and then no one, and then you trying to learn your tricks at the park kind of thing. And so now there is like this whole, like the whole ladder, if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
And then this is what happens. Like what happens at the Uninvited or these events is like you see it in person, that this person that is like probably on the same level than you of snowboarding actually is doing tricks that you like couldn't imagine like a week ago. But now a bunch of girls are going to go home and learn crazy tricks that they saw go down. Like, this is what happens. And, like, that's so cool to be a part of it, and it's happening now. Like, it's really cool.
And it can happen so quickly, too. Like, I would be curious to hear from Jess Perlmutter if she watched the recap from last year or watched any of it, because I think, like, the rep had reached out to me. Please, I love you, Jess's dad. Don't hate me for this, but someone had reached out with the name before and I with the Instagram account, and I went and looked, and I was like, looks like there's some good potential. I had no idea she was 14 either. Looks like there's some good potential there, but it's just not quite at the level yet this year. And then she submitted it was like all the clips from last year. And then she submitted I didn't even know that was the same person that submitted the wildcard entry, and then to see her ride in person. That's how quickly this can happen if someone is just given a chance and someone has a chance to believe in themselves. And
yeah, and it's so real when you see, like for her, seeing Thelma do it. Like she can relate very hard to that. That's like, I can do that. Like that's like how it's always kind of been for the guys, I'd say. That there's like enough competition, let's say, so it's a healthy competition. But like then maybe it comes to a place where it's like too much, whatever. But right now in women's, it's like
The most exciting thing.
It's so
in the
exciting
world.
because there's like so much like healthy competition in a way. Like even if it's not competition, but like in everyday life, like, oh shit, that girl learned that trick and we learned how to snowboard at the same time, so I can do that trick. Like this is happening now, and not being like so far away kind of thing.
100%. Yeah, imagine Jess in 10 years. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, like 14, the skill set that she has, and then I think about like Mia Brooks. You know, we chat, and Mia was saying some interesting stuff where when I was talking to her, I don't know if she said it on air or whatever, but she was just like her goals are, you know, like fucking 18s, and like she's basically saying like there should be no difference between my run and a guy's slopestyle run. Like she's just, that's where her mentality is. And it's fucking amazing. It's inspiring. It's beautiful. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just like, it's huge also. Like I talked about it a little bit when I was here last time, but like women just like daring to have success and own up their own success, because this is like scary as fuck when like everyone calls you a bitch for it. But if everyone's backing you when you're like, I'm successful, I can do this, then it's like a positive thing to own your success and be like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's so drilled into us, even
Yeah.
people who, like me and Ylfa, who are like, you know, strong, independent people. Neither of us are going to say that was my cover or that was my back tail. Like, that's so uncomfortable because, you know, you're just used to minimizing everything that you do. And how do you get so good at snowboarding when you constantly have to minimize yourself at the same time? Like, it's kind of crazy. Then that's why it's like so much more heroic to see these girls break through and do it anyways.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
With the minimizing, do you think that you guys minimize your snowboarding to make people feel more comfortable, like as a mechanism, or you know?
I
I'm
have,
going
for
into
sure.
deep psychology here, but yeah.
Yeah, at some points for sure I have. Probably you as well. It's like, especially when coming up and like your only few friends that snowboarded were like not even close to the level of you were at. Of course you make like a smaller deal out of what you're doing. And I'm not saying that I do it now. Like now I'm trying to learn from the younger girls to like just fucking own the success, own the like fact that you're like fucking killing it. Yeah. And they're so good at it. Fuck, I look up to them so much for this. What you were talking about earlier with Thelma riding away from a rail, being like, I'm that bitch.
Yeah, she is.
This is cool as fuck. Like, I want that. That's so sick. Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah. So I guess the answer is yes, but also I'm trying to, let go of all that bullshit. You know.
I think a proof of concept too is last night to prepare for today, I was watching Uninvited 2 and 3, and you watch those riders who are killing it, like, and all these kids on the come up, right? Like, remember watching like Emma Crosby's clips, crushing it. Now she's hitting Chad's gap. You know, it's just so insane seeing that progression, and it's so exciting to just witness in the flesh. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another going back to the dualities too. I thought I don't know Annika Morgan very well. I've had a couple conversations with her, but I was talking to her at the top, and she's just, I'm like, you know, what do you listen to? Annika, says, oh, I'm listening to techno. Oh, like so
She's the sickest.
Chill,
Yeah.
mellow, and then straps in fucking back twos the rail, like
Yeah.
boss. It's like
Wow.
puts her like superhero fucking hat on, and then you know, I
Her
love
techno
that.
hat on.
Yeah, like chill demeanor, boss as soon as they strap in. I love that.
Yeah, she's so fun. The coolest.
She's so sick. That was so cool seeing her ride in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just lapping too. She wasn't
Yeah.
hiking. She's like, just casually flowing, casually annihilating.
Yeah, incredible.
Exploded bones. You ever had them? Well, I have too. You and I, we share this. And what I did 6 years ago was I reached out to Bubs, and I got on their collagen, and I've been on it ever since. And if you want some proof, my bones used to look like this, and now they're looking like this. Huge improvements. I feel it in my joints every day. I'm not getting any older, younger. I get it confused because I feel so dang good. And if you want it too, go hit up bubnaturals.com, promo code BOMBHOLE, and you'll get that 20% off. Go click up.
All right, we're going to get some Instagram questions. We got another one from Shawnee Tsunami. Great handle. Did y'all make Jess Perlmutter follow the 10% rule after her winning $8.5K, $8,500? 10% rule, for those who are unfamiliar, you go to the bar, you spend 10% of your winnings. She's 14. Any takes? Anybody have any takes?
Go to Chuck E. Cheese.
I have a take.
Yeah.
She didn't have to because, and this is kind of symbolic of the whole event, but she didn't have to do the 10% rule because Woodward paid for everything at the after party.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
But she did do some crowd surfing.
She did some crowd surfing, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I was a little concerned about the champagne bottle. I was like, is this legal? That works though, right?
Just don't.
Is this legal?
Close blind eye.
I was talking to Silk. He was in the front center filming Fisheye for the champagne ceremony. Silk's sober, and congratulations.
Yeah.
But I think
Sir.
talk about that experience. That was the first time liquor hit your face.
Yeah, that was the first time I've had any alcohol in my mouth for almost 2 years. Oof. And I mean, it was fine. I'm good. But it was interesting. And yeah, and you know, sobriety and snowboarding aren't often associated, and it can sometimes be a challenging space to be sober in. And yeah, I tasted alcohol. I was good though.
We're growing in numbers though. There's 4 of us in here.
Yeah.
Are you
It
sure?
is. It is growing in popularity.
How
It's
long
okay.
are you
I'm
sober?
drinking
6
for all
years?
of you. I'm sorry.
I knew that. I'm sorry.
I knew that.
Hey, for
I don't
hand me that thing. Hand me
This
that
thing right here?
Yeah. Don't drink it. Though.
Chris gonna relapse on
Here,
camera?
Ylfa gave us this. The Hoods to Woods guys had some pulls off of it when they were here. Brian and Omar.
They took tiny sips.
Do you want to take a sip for the people that can't?
Oh,
Yeah,
is
do it-
that
do it for
triggering?
us.
So is that
No, do it
is
for
that
the people
4
that can't.
shots
Yeah.
then?
Yeah.
Is this triggering?
No, not at all.
No.
No.
Okay.
Jesus.
Actually encouraged.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the people that can't,
Yeah.
for your fallen soldiers.
We're living through you.
Yeah.
This is it.
What is it?
I feel good
It's
now.
like licorice.
I got some of that.
Feel that.
Is it Icelandic?
This is actually Swedish, but it's like their copy in an Icelandic one.
All right. Well, we'll put that. We'll just put
do
it. I'll
that.
put it right. in
Yeah.
front of me. I'll just chug that thing.
looks-
But
we go.
on that note, with the champagne, I noticed on the podium that Thelma didn't really know how to shake it, so I went and found another bottle for her to redo it, and I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
shake it first, and she was like going through all the steps, and then she was like, so hyped.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
did see
so
that.
we got her to do it again, like me, Hannah, and her, and Sarah, like the little club, like stayed at the podium for too long, and like, yeah, that was good.
That was special with the. There's also the little confetti maker things,
Yeah.
poppers,
Those are great.
and the
Yeah.
champagne, and like the whole experience. And then Jill made the.
Made the base for the podium.
The
Podiums.
podium.
Yeah, the mirrors.
It is the podium on. You stand upon the podium that which Jill Perkins made.
And what does it have? The special touch on it.
It has mirrors on it, so that say "I'm that bitch," and you can look down and see your reflection while you're up there.
It's so sick.
It's so sick.
Also, did you see Justin Meyer took a selfie with it?
Yes,
Yeah, that was good.
that's so.
I can see that.
On the top one, it also said, "I'm that motherfucking bitch."
Yes, I'm the big bitch.
Yeah.
Very well
The other
deserved.
one, it was so sick. Shout out to Jill.
Yeah,
for
shouts to
that,
Jill.
making
Huge
that.
shouts.
Yeah.
She didn't have to do that, and she didn't know that would even ever get mentioned. But we were really. There's so many extra details that we wanted to be there to make it a special experience for the girls, but we were just spiraling, not worried that we weren't going to finish everything in time, and worried that it was all just going to fall apart. But it didn't. It didn't. A lot of the champagne bottles just blew up on their own because
Yeah,
they
it
got
was-
heated up in the sun.
It was super warm.
What?
I
That
think
happened?
another
Yeah, we
note-
lost half of them. A good half.
Yeah, they were just popping off left and right. Yeah.
That's wild. I had no idea.
Jess and I also were conspiring about having a little fireworks show, and mistakenly at the 43i event, Jess brought that up in front of Tyler Barnes, our VP of Marketing, and Misha Ross, and they were like, "Whoa, we can't do that. We gotta get some permits." So
Hopefully next year.
hopefully next year we get a little fireworks show going. to
I
really,
like that little pyrotechnics.
yeah, make it pop. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell anyone beforehand. That's the best way to break rules.
gave
Just
Jess
break
that
them
live,
and
so
then say
don't.
sorry. That's
We want to
should
do
do
it.
that.
We want to do it again though, and yeah, I just wanted that moment to be something they'll never forget. And I think I forget that, like, it just will be, because they're walking away with money and they're at this event that they're just put front and center. But I still want all of those little extra things that everyone's like, don't worry about that. You're being too hardcore about stuff. It's like all of those things add up, like the friendship bracelet party, the gift bags, the everything adds up. And it's just funny. Like last year, I couldn't open the champagne bottles, and it's just, we gotta show the video of them like fumbling and like handing it around, trying to open it, because they don't know how. They've never had that before, and that's just so. That's like a metaphor for so much with this event. Like they don't know what to do with it. They've never, like, same with at the welcome party last year. We ordered like a whole table full of food and charcuterie boards and everything, and nobody touched it because they didn't think it was for them.
Damn.
Gangster shit. I love that.
This year we had meat flowers, and they ate them.
I've heard so much
Trey.
about the meat flowers. I didn't see them.
Jess, I have a complaint.
I'll send you a pic.
I have a complaint. I wasn't a competitor, but I was hijacking the athlete tent. Not sure if my credentials. It said all access in my credentials.
All access.
So I was accessing all of the amenities. A little too healthy for me. It's too healthy.
We can't.
We need some garbage in there. We need some
I
trash.
bet that.
What were you looking for?
I mean, we got there's
Twinkies
like
in
all
there,
kinds
Ho-Hos?
of fruits and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
apples. I mean, it was a great spread. But like, you know,
The candy.
Next year we'll go a little sluttier for you. We'll get
yeah.
there was like 4 boxes of donuts down by where you were sitting. Did you bring
Oh,
those?
yeah.
Oh, I put some of those down. Yeah, I took down 2 of those.
I put back a long john or 2.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. I think this is an interesting one for Luke. How do I say it?
Jacopelli.
So I'm from New Hampshire, so like Jacopelli is how like growing up, but like my family's from New York, and so they would do like more of the Italian roots, but like Jacopelli, you know.
Yeah,
but I
that's
say I'm New
Italian
Hampshire, it's like
shit.
Jacopelli, whatever.
Luke G. How about
Yeah.
that?
That works, dude. Run it up.
G. How has your journey with sobriety helped you more for snowboarding?
The simple answer is everything, right? Like sobriety is everything to me, and it's the reason that I've been able to do everything I've accomplished in the last couple of years, for sure. I think Silk kind of touched on it earlier about just the mix of sobriety and snowboarding. Like definitely my earlier days at Plymouth State really got into the alcohol and drug world and substance abuse, you know, and took that with me for a couple of years, you know, and definitely took me to some really, really lows in my life, right? And from there, I don't know, just getting sober, like it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I think a question that Jess keeps asking me, it's like, or anyone, like, how do you have energy to do this? And I'm like, sobriety, you know? Because like, obviously you wake up feeling good every day. You're not drinking, doing drugs, whatever. But also like, you know, when you use substances like that, you got to channel that energy somewhere else, right? And so for me, like I channel it into snowboarding, into my job, into, you know, creating really, really badass events in snowboarding and creating culture, you know? And so for me, that's where 99% of my energy goes. And so it's everything to me. And I'm just so grateful that, you know, I've had a support system like in snowboarding as well. Like, you know, as Silk mentioned, it's becoming a lot more apparent, you know, people are getting sober, and it's cool to use like your experience too to help other people kind of talk through it, right? Because it's prevalent, dude. Like you see it, we all see it, you know. Yep. So it's cool to use your experiences to help other people. If need be.
I was behind a truck pulling into our office yesterday, and it said "Recover loudly so others don't die quietly." Mm-hmm. And I was like, because I like that, and I felt like. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh, we talk about sobriety on the show. People are sick of hearing it. But it's like, it's important. It's important to know that if somebody's in it, that they can get out of it. And like, for example, like you having these back-to-back events, do you feel like if you were boozing and using, you'd be able to manage that workload?
Absolutely not. I mean, especially the way that my lows, how my drinking turned into, it was just like, you know, you would start, you don't know when you would stop. So you were just a super unreliable person, you know, and that's a really tough pill to swallow when you're drinking. But no, Chris, I mean, on that topic of the show and sobriety, is I remember so specifically, like when I was at some of my lowest, it was like during COVID, the first episode of The Bomb Hole came out, and it was with you and
Benny.
Yeah,
Justin
Benny.
Yep.
And, you guys both talked about your sobriety, and I think I was like drinking at the time actually, and I remember being like, oh, he's sober, and like I really used that as inspiration to me personally, and it was like super uplifting, and like I use that kind of as motivation, and just hearing you tell your story was like, and Justin as well was super inspiring, and like helped kind of take me to those steps to get sober, you know? So
that's rad.
so
Thanks for letting me know that.
Thank you for that.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
absolutely.
you say like people are sick of hearing it, like maybe they're not.
They're definitely not.
Well, but I have friends like Bob Plum who's like, we get it, you're sober or whatever. Like I have like
can't
my
trust
friends.
Dude, that's
My friends bust my balls though. That's what good friends do though too. So take it with a grain of
There's kind of how it feels like to be a girl in snowboarding, to be a sober person in snowboarding, because it's like, okay, we're tired of hearing about it. We get it. You have a
good
vagina.
analogy.
Okay.
I like it.
And you just feel like you don't really belong because you're not, but you have to be there anyways. And you just feel like, you just have this feeling maybe you're not as fun. People don't necessarily want you there as much. You're not a part of it, but you have to stay in it anyways. So welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's a good analogy. I like it.
that is. Yeah.
What about for you, Jess, with the sobriety journey? I'd love to hear you open up about that.
I mean, I don't really call myself sober. I just don't drink or do drugs anymore because I was going to die if I kept going. And so I just stopped, and there's no question of ever going back for me, which I feel like I'm pretty lucky because a lot of people have to, it's like a daily battle to not pick it back up. But for me, I just know what my life is going to turn into if I do it. So,
Yeah. You've hit those lows, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You never
You get-
forget them.
Did you guys listen to the Jeeves Airtime podcast by any chance? You guys
Not yet.
Yeah, it was super inspiring. If you guys haven't listened, I'm such a big Jeeves fan, and hearing his journey is really inspiring. So yeah, if you're looking for a good one, check that out. In regards to sobriety, and fucking keep it up, Jeeves. All right, it's about that time. Luke, thank you for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you so much. I am beyond honored and grateful to be in the seat today. And Jess, thank you so much for the opportunity. And everyone at Woodward Park City is so grateful that we were able to hold this event. And it's been a great time.
Smelling salt for the road.
Let's do one.
Okay. Cheers. Cheers, brother. Thanks for chatting, Luke.
That's a good one. Thanks, guys. I'm out.
See ya.
All right, we just subbed out Luke G for Nirvana, Ortanez, and Abby Fuhr popping in the studio. How are we doing, guys? What's happening? How are we feeling after the big event?
Relief.
Relief?
Sweet relief.
Yeah. Well, I would love to know what your guys' roles were particularly. I know you were wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, so I was the marketing and communications manager for the Uninvited. That's the official title that Jess bestowed upon me.
I don't even really know what that means. she just does everything. What was my position? I don't even know. Social media coordinator and whatever they needed. Everything.
All of it.
Just a nerves bitch.
Never.
I mean that in the best way possible. It was an honor.
How
to
many
be in that
iPhone
position.
clips? I seen you filming about 7 million iPhone clips.
I have hundreds. I had to delete like 3/4 of my apps to keep
what
storage.
How big of a phone
do you have for storage? I have it's just nothing was syncing to my iCloud storage, which I have 2 terabytes in there. But that doesn't matter. Not when you're in America and you're from Canada.
We're actually outnumbered right now, or is it even? Americans to Canadian. Oh, yeah. Canadians are there's 3. It's 3 to 2 to 1. Or no, 3 to no.
3 to 2 to 1.
Ratios are hard.
Numbers, Matt.
3 to 3.
So
How
keep
are you
trying.
feeling?
Keep trying.
Quick math.
3 Americans, 1 Icelandic.
Yeah.
/ Swedish.
Yeah.
You're the lone soldier.
Sorry.
She's used to it.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Ilfa. What do you think's better,
What's up?
Canada or America? Be
Come on,
honest.
Elva.
Canada.
Yeah.
What?
Bullshit.
Poutine.
What?
Poutine.
Poutine? That's the one reason?
It's so good. And
right.
also, Revelstoke. Fuck, I love Revelstoke. It's
too.
a sick resort.
I'm not happy about that.
Oh, sorry
Very
about that.
upset.
Yeah. Abby's Canadian, right?
I'm actually Australian.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Damn
born
it.
there. Yeah.
My research is not very good.
I don't promote it.
But you live in Canada.
I live in Canada. I grew up there, went back and forth my whole childhood. Yeah. Wait, what passport do you have? I have both. Okay. Yeah.
I like that. Well, we have a topic that we're going to get into, totally unrelated to the Uninvited, and it is the the fact that FIS may make rail jams an Olympic event. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Takes? Jess, I know you got a take.
I don't know.
Give Ben the mic.
Ben,
Yeah.
anything to add?
When will they do this?
Next, not this Olympics, the next. This is all speculation. Nothing's confirmed.
And when
nothing's
is the
been
next
announced.
Olympics?
I don't know.
See, nobody knows anything.
Yeah. Ben,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It's hard to know where to start. It just sounds like I don't know, like throwing a bomb into something that's pretty great. I don't know. I worked for FIS sometimes, and it's gonna standardize all the rails. People are gonna demand a certain height of lip, which I'm kind of concerned about. But we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's a bad idea, and I have nothing more to say. It's just a bad idea.
Okay, here's what I like about it. We are going to have a period, you say the next Olympics, that's at least 4 years away. We're going to have a period where brands are going to be snatching up rail riders and paying them a lot more money.
yes.
And those rail riders should not go to the Olympics. Oh, no, they can if they want. But I mean, they should just demand a very long contract and then not follow through.
Yeah, I think it's good if you think about like Iris or Grace or whatever,
Egan
or Egan or any of these riders that maybe get a huge deal because they're going to the Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But FIS most likely will fuck this thing up.
I mean, it's kind of like if they aren't the ones doing it, somebody else will step in.
If the riders aren't the
If the
ones doing
riders
it,
aren't
yeah.
like the riders that we would like to see in those positions aren't doing it, then like, and then it's no knock to like contest kids, but it's like you're not going to get your true like rail riders in there.
I feel like it's gonna be the same people that do slopestyle
Yeah.
that do this event too, and like get the same amount. Like I don't know. That's just like my observation of it, and like I feel like the interest would be there. Someone that's already like down for the slopestyle contest setup type of thing.
Yeah, so the way it's been explained to me is that it's similar to Big Air, where Big Air is the only way to qualify for Big Air is through slopestyle. So if the rail jam circuit, the only way to get in is through slopestyle, we won't see the real talent like Iris, we won't see Egan, we won't see Tommy Gesme, we won't see Jed, we won't see Luif. Like those are the real baton holders for the rail scene. And we need the lips to be small. We don't want cannon rails with people doing front board double back rodeos. We want, like you guys with Uninvited, right? Like legit rail setup, legit rails, not huge lips.
Yeah, it's street.
Yeah, street. If it's a rail jam, it's got to be street inspired, which it seems like FIS will grenade.
Yeah, and like my like not concerned, but like there's a lot of space in snowboarding and whatever for like people to come through, but I don't know if there's space for this too. Like, will it just take away some of the sicker riders that would otherwise film a sick part, or will it just be the same people that are in the like slopestyle? I don't know if there's place for that.
I mean, if it is, then whatever.
Yeah,
They're already there.
But it's kind of like we already have all those rail jams, and hopefully they are run by like snowboarders, and snowboarders benefit from it, and not FIS. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
a
Good
little
point.
bit of my take, but
But the riders that you named, like Luif and Tommy, like those guys don't do rail jams anyways. But it's funny, all the girls you named do, because at this point, that's the only, like there still aren't big paychecks for girls filming video parts. The girls are doing it because they have to, because that's how they're going to make money and that's how they're going to get recognition. And they see what happens after they win something like that, how their sponsors respond, how they answer their emails and send the contract through and all that. So that's just something I was randomly thinking about.
Yeah, but I was kind of naming like those are like more up and coming like girls.
Yeah.
Where like Luif will probably never do it, and that's
That would be so sick if he did.
yeah, and that's
what a fucking like,
We'd all watch.
yeah.
Then we'd watch.
that would be.
I could see Luif coming out of the woodwork. X Games real snow. I think he won. He won the rail jam at X Games back in the day. But he was also younger at that time and still doing rail jams.
I'm just trying to think, like, what did it do for skateboarding, putting skateboarding in the Olympics? Did it do anything? I can't really say that it created more opportunities for anybody that SLS didn't already provide for all the female skaters. You know, it's like, I think it did a lot more detriment than good, you know, because it's such a reiteration of gender binary too, which cuts out a lot of the riders. And I think that's super unfair, and they just haven't evolved with the times.
The one thing I was thinking about too is like we got that Sage Wheaties box out there. I think like if Sage hadn't won the Olympics, he wouldn't have been on talk shows and like, you know, Chloe Kim and these winners that like when someone says you're a snowboarder and you're Olympic gold medalist, if you are that, it doesn't matter if it's a fucking rail jam or a slope style, you are a gold medalist. I think it's opportunistic for the people that win, but I think you're totally right about like I don't think the sport or the culture or there's a lot of other benefits that happen on a big scale.
And I feel like those underdogs that we might be talking about to get like kind of paid, I feel like a lot of them already could have gone a contest route but didn't choose it. And like that's why they're doing like smaller like rail jams and like hanging out in the community and not like extending to be a contest rider. And it's not at all because of the money. Like a lot of like Louis, for you know, like when we're talking about those who have made it in filming, they chose not to do the contest for a reason. And I think that's like why there is these two separate ways of snowboarding. Like I don't think there's a needed rail jam for the contest scene. That's just like my take on it, but I don't know.
I think FIS needs snowboarding more than snowboarding needs FIS as a whole. There's that, and also the chase that brands kind of. Every time there's an Olympic come in, they're chasing. All right, every brand is trying to get their Olympian, and I think it always takes away from the most creative riders for that time period.
Good point.
And then I don't know. I think it never benefits smaller brands. If you look at skating, if you don't ride for Nike, Adidas, or I don't know what else right now is paying people, like all the smaller shoe brands, they're all dying. A skateboard brand does not represent a big part of your sponsorship. Like I just think it's going to be like a Chaz Guldemont scenario where you ride for Under Armour and Rockstar, and it's like, does that really help snowboarding as a whole, as a community, as a culture? I think it's just draining it.
All right, just to be the contrarian here, to open up the conversation, what about getting more eyes on snowboarding because it puts it on a bigger platform? Is there benefit to that? Any takers?
Hasn't this been disproven though?
I don't know. I fucking don't look at any data or nothing.
You'll sell more. You'll sell Oakley glasses.
I do.
But you're not gonna sell bindings. You know what I mean? Like snowboarding exists. They know now. You know, but there's only so many people who have access to $200 lift tickets anyways. So at some point you're just it's just like wrestling or hockey or baseball where people are watching it, but they're not necessarily doing it.
I mean,
So, fair enough.
When I was working this past 3 years and we had the Olympic cycle and we had Chloe on, she was on a certain type of board, and I think that when you have to wear standardized uniforms, that does take away from, like, let's say a soft good or like your outerwear. They don't get as much shine, but then people do notice the base of your board. And I think that's where brands can see benefit and visibility, because it at the time, the company I was at, they definitely saw like a spike in interest during that time. And also like eyewear is another one.
Okay. And so in skateboarding, I don't know the logistics. In snowboarding, you have to wear a U.S. team fit, right? So it's like
Correct.
You can't wear your outerwear sponsor. Is that a thing?
Yep. Yeah. So whoever's sponsoring the U.S. team, it's their outerwear.
Ralph Lauren this year, right? Or wasn't it? Wasn't it last year? Or the last Olympics was Ralph Lauren for America, I think. Am I tripping on that?
You might be right.
I thought it was Volcom,
Volcom.
1 year.
You're right,
Yeah.
Volcom. Yeah, maybe I'm tripping on that. Yeah, Volcom.
It has been Ralph Lauren though.
At some point.
Interesting. I just would love to see the most like G-est street rider wearing just the wackest company or country fit of all time.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That happens.
I think it's not that like the rail jam would become an Olympic sport. I think the problem is the issue is FIS and the way that they run stuff and the way that they turn it into a business model that doesn't care about the athletes. I think that there would be a possibility to keep it cool, but it's just not going to happen because FIS owns the world. Or they run it. It's a bunch of old dudes that said until recently, like a few years ago, that women's jumpers could not compete because they weren't strong. Their bodies could not withstand the force.
What?
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Really?
That was like 4 years ago. It was the first time
my
they let them in.
God.
That's insane.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but the thing that's amazing too, like they're fucking up. You come around with your guys' event, it's like the anti-FIS.
Yeah, like we make no money.
Yeah, and I think about that. Well, yeah.
But we care about the riders. The riders have healthy, nutritious snacks at the top.
I'm
of the
actually
course.
not happy about that, but everything else about the event, I'm happy about.
But isn't lame? I mean, it's snowboarding is already in FIS. It's already an Olympic thing. Isn't that enough? Do they have to take the streets too?
Yeah.
Fuck
Leave us the
them.
streets.
Like, sorry,
Leave us
but
that.
that sucks. Sorry.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
same. Fuck yeah.
That's just but that's personal. That's like no facts behind it. It's just,
I love it.
yeah.
I think that's a great take. You know, it's interesting. I recently found out that Olympic judges make like less than $100 a day, and it's just like it's crazy. It's just fucking crazy.
Why?
You know?
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it's supposedly prestigious or whatever. You know.
That's such a load of crap.
Yeah.
Like, they're bringing their like experience and like. If you have like judges like Katie Cook, where she knows the culture, and then she's in a position like that, then she could, have a unique lens that actually makes sense to everyone, instead of like the whole thing where someone does a backflip and they're like, oh, that's harder than like a 360. It's like that wow factor that people don't know. I feel like
You're also putting yourself out there to be heavily scrutinized by everybody, because
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
going to always agree.
I mean, we
with
made
it.
these. We made these. Like we're the scrutinizers. But like,
Yeah. No, but that's wild.
judges, I think judges deserve to get really taken care of, because they're the ones who dictate who wins and loses. You need prestigious, credible people in there. You need people that know and care about the culture. It is objective. So even if I think that a judge got it right, you guys might think they got it wrong, and you might think something different, and you might think this person should have won. So it's a thankless job, but I do think we need to do our best to have really good judges in snowboarding. I think it's something that's like, when I found out that people go to the Olympics and they make like $80 a day to judge the Olympics, I'm like, we pay our Bomb Hole Cup judges $500. We were doing like 5x the Olympics. We're doing better than the Olympics. Our event's better than the Olympics, or whatever,
Yeah.
But same with your guys' prize money. What do you? I think you get more money for uninvited than if you win the Olympics. I mean, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I got no data. But I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, do you win? I don't think you win money at the Olympics, do you?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I
think so.
don't know. I don't
call
know, and I will
Sage.
never know.
But I think that if you are training for the Olympics, you get like a program from your country, like
Okay.
a salary
Unless you're from Canada.
or something.
Yeah.
Some countries are
I
better
don't
than
know.
others.
I don't know. I think that's how they would do it in Sweden, at least.
Yeah.
So you're like on the Olympic program, and then you don't have to work, or But I don't think Olympics pays that. I think that's like your country, or something.
Yeah,
Why
but
am
Sweden's
I
got it
trying
figured
to-
out.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest
I don't
of the
even
world.
know. I'm sorry.
But imagine, it's the uninvited rail jam, but they're competing for an Olympic gold medal.
Okay, that is hard because, and that's something like we come up against when we're like, how do you rate like the jam format is the format that's going to get the girls to ride their best, because they're not going to be being way more conservative with their runs because they're worried they're going to get dinged for it. But we don't have like the only way that you can have something at that level in the Olympics is to have it sanctioned with this crazy like judging system that we don't have for street riding, because it's so subjective, and so it's really hard to judge. Like Ylfa, I give you guys so many props, because holy crap. And there's, like you said, like there was probably 5 to 10 other riders that also could have been on the podium if it was a different set of judges or someone looking from a different position,
For sure.
But it's just so hard. So it's like in having to standardize it to that level, it shrinks it again and narrows the possibilities for creativity and originality.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about it to me. And then also big lips.
True.
I don't know so big.
We're so worried about
the
the lips.
Canon features,
Yes.
I just cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about street league format? Have you ever thought about? What are your thoughts on that with snowboarding?
Like a minute, and you just.
Well, I think like the way I would see it is like imagine, let's say you had, rope toe would be great, but let's say you had one zone. It would have to be a little bit more of an elaborate setup where you could do lines, where it's like maybe a 2-rail island, and you have 4 drops. You take your best, or 3 drops. You take your best line, or something like that, right?
I think we have that.
And then you go.
That's slopestyle, Chris. We already have that.
But no jumps, just rails.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And then you have like you have 5 drops on the rail, and or 10 drops, and you take your best 3 scores or whatever. Kind of that. I'm not saying those numbers are exact, but you combine a line section and the way they do it at Street League, they have a big section, they have a tech section, and they have a line, and they kind of like it ends on the big section, but you kind of have to be consistent all the way through. It actually makes for a really good watch, I think, as a spectator. I don't know. We're getting really elaborate into rail jams.
That was kind of like what they did at Dew Tour, no?
I didn't watch it.
Wasn't that like? No, was that not?
I think they did.
They did like a couple of features in a row, and you got like 3 runs, kind of like slopestyle, but it was all rails.
Yep.
And that's basically kind of the setup they did. And so, I don't know. It was like probably fun to watch, but like it's kind of like still takes away the feeling of like this being like a rail jam event. Like it's not the same.
But was that because it was a Dew Tour event? Do you think if it was called something else, there'd be more eyes because it'd be newer and more exciting and not overdone?
I don't know.
Because did anybody watch it? I mean, I watched like the winning runs, but to be honest, that was it.
I watched the recap.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
We were in Europe.
not to call it out.
Sorry.
The jam format I think is best. Like the hike the rails, have a session. That's where the most shit goes down. That's where you're gonna see the heaviest tricks. Instead of like do one run. But it's hard for the general audience to latch onto that if you're trying to make an Olympic event.
So let's.
I honestly.
So it's not an Olympic event. There it is. I like that.
I don't know. I honestly think that like even if this would be in the Olympics, I'm not sure if that would like for the let's say untrained eye or whatever, like someone that doesn't know like what's up with the tricks. This is not the most fun to watch. Like this is.
Yeah, they're
not,
like they went straight, they went sideways.
Yeah,
they leaned forward, they leaned backward.
It's kind of like, I don't know, it probably doesn't make sense to sell snowboarding to a random person through that. Like, I don't think. Then I see it rather in like the big air where you actually like have a show of someone going like really big and stuff. That looks super cool to someone that doesn't know anything about snowboarding. But I'm not even sure if people think that street snowboarding looks cool if they don't snowboard. I don't think so.
Yes, so
honestly.
much more subtle.
Yeah, it's kind of like you really have to be already nerding in it to kind of think it's cool.
Good point.
Even some snowboarders don't give a shit about street snowboarding. Like, I don't know. Just saying.
Keep street snowboarding ours. I like that take. Let me get into some of these Instagram questions. This is from Anicho. I hope I said your handle right. What do you want to see next for women in snowboarding? Anybody want to field this one?
I just want to see more of them getting paid and not just the whole like, oh well, we want them to grow with the company thing. Just I want to see brands approach riders in the same way they approach guys and just buy them out. Like other brands are adding high level riders to their team that they're obviously having some kind of bidding war with another brand. And they're just adding them at that level. It's not just like we want something that we can put our name on that we created ourselves. It should be the same for women, I think.
I like that take.
Sick, yeah.
I want to see more women on the other side of the industry. I want the more Megan Starks, Erica Starks of the world on the other side of the industry because I feel like they're the ones that can really make the change rather than all of the decisions that has to do with women's snowboarding be at the hands of men.
It's
personal take.
It's hard though, because just like with personal experience and, I mean, like the personal experience, like with being in the industry on the other side of the industry now for the past like 4 years now, it's really hard to we do need more, 100% need more women on the other side. And I do think that that's growing, but there are roadblocks getting there. Like every opportunity that I've ever had, like career-wise outside of snowboarding has, and I think I might have said this last time I was here, like, but every opportunity I've had has been given to me by a woman in my career, like outside of being like an athlete. So it's hard to, I don't want to say believe, but it's like we've had to create our own space every single time. And it's like, yes, we have allies here and people who believe in us, but it's like ultimately when you get to like that high level, they'll go with something that's more familiar to them, which is often a male.
It's a really nice way of saying it. Something more familiar.
I was like, light them up, Nirvana.
Go ahead, it's permission to speak freely. I like it.
No, it's like nothing. It's like we all have friends in the industry and all of that, but it's like ultimately they're not going to pick like the BIPOC chick to like hang out in the space or like progress that space. They're going to go with something that they've seen that's going
to agree with them.
Right. Or like I said, it is.
That's not going to make them feel uncomfortable. It's not going to be a killjoy of any sort. It's not going to bring up things that should be addressed.
That they don't want to address.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into those. What
do you really want to?
Fire it up. No, I'm here to learn. I'm not the most well educated in these topics, and fucking lay it on. I'm ready. Go ahead.
No, I mean you hold space for it, and that right there is super helpful, and like we appreciate that. And it's like I said, I feel like the past. I don't want to make this about me, but it's like in my experience, I went through like the third time of being like rejected, not rejected, but just like someone else got the job that's highly qualified, but it's like I think 3 out of 3 it's been cis white males that have gone, and I'm always like
but that's not you at the beginning of the interview.
No
process. That's one of 2 at the end.
At the end, like that's 3 for 3 at the end. Like gone through like all the interviews with all the people, and ultimately it's like I fit the bill for like the diversity candidate, but then and these companies are opening up to having a diversity candidate, but they just have them there as like a stand-in almost, or like
like they already know who they're gonna hire.
Right,
it's not you, but it should be you coming as from someone who hired you.
Thank you. And that's like the when I at my previous job, it was a friend and colleague, and like I felt like I learned so much in the past 3 years, and then stars aligned, and Jess, like I hit her up on something completely random, and was like, oh, by the way, I got laid off. If you need anyone if you know anyone that needs event production help, like I'm available. And she like called me that day.
Yeah.
And was like, do you want to do the Uninvited? And I was like, fuck yeah.
And you did the Uninvited.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta say this too, guys, from my perspective too, because like the energy at that event, and I'm not like sitting here like blowing smoke up your guys' ass here. Like I'm seriously not. Like, and I saw some stuff that I needed to see on how important the movement is. Like the women's empowerment or whatever you want to call it. Like that fucking energy coming up of the collective of women and men supporting women and everybody supporting women together, and that like rocket ship of positive energy where my heart was like exploding, and like how much it meant. And like you can hear about it a million times, but like I think what you guys are doing and with this event is actually changing things that we're talking about, because I'm seeing it firsthand and experiencing it and feeling it and becoming aware of it in some ways, you know? So I don't know if you guys are realizing that's what's happening, but that was my experience. So I don't know. Just a statement, really.
I've got something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if you're going to hold a women's event, don't be the guy holding the women's event. Empower a girl to organize the event. Give somebody that opportunity so they can learn the skills, so they can make a name for themselves by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, just facilitate it for them. If you're going to hold a BIPOC event, don't be the white person holding the BIPOC event. If you're going to hold a queer event, don't be the straight person holding a queer event.
Good point.
Pass the baton.
Pass the baton and put the right people in the right places to make shit happen. I think that's you could call it gatekeeping if you wanted to use a buzzword, but I think that's still a pretty big problem in the industry.
Or if you want to sell women's product, hire some women, or ask them what they think. Do you like this?
Yeah,
Do you want to try to ride this?
Yeah, hire a female buyer maybe to do the hard good buying. Yeah.
Ask them, but then also listen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're maybe in the, who knows, but it's like some people will ask, but then will they actually listen to what your feedback is? I don't know.
I was thinking about one thing. We just did our event, our Bomb Hole Cup event, and I was looking at the race numbers of like honestly male to female ratios, and it was like as it got younger, it was closer to 50-50, to where the Groms it was almost 50-50. And do you feel as though with the youth, there's more younger women getting into snowboarding that we're going to head in the right direction, or what are your guys' takes on that?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit off air earlier, that like a lot of the younger girls that are coming up now, they have never known that feeling of like not being listened to, not being seen, not being like valued in that way, because now there is kind of a road that's opening it up. And so this is super good with the up-and-comers. And we see it in the girls that are in their 20s or like young 20s or like even younger. They're not like scared. There's nothing holding them back because there wasn't a thing holding them back. And this is the work that like you guys and me hopefully a bit have put in, because like this is a huge difference. And this might be my answer to that question. Like, what do I want to see in snowboarding for women? And then I'm looking at like the rider's perspective more. It's like just women being comfortable being there and owning it, and like just like not, because they don't have to think about this part of the things. They're already so welcome and so like hyped up kind of thing. And that's good. I think this is good with looking at the younger girls.
True. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think when the whole point of all of this is so that we don't have to do it. With the uninvited films, that was because none of these girls haven't had any project to film for. And throughout the years over the 6 years of doing them, I noticed that most of the girls had a project to film for because people were including them in the films. And that's why, the uninvited contest is not because I wanted to make a rail jam. Like, I don't really give a shit about competitions. It was more a means to be able to hand out a bunch of money to girls. And to choose which ones got the money. And so hopefully that won't even be needed in a few years. The win for me is when I don't have to do this anymore. I mean, on several levels, because maybe go surfing or something. But yeah, I think like what Ylva's saying about these girls who don't even know what it's like to not, like, to have any difference between them and their dude friends.
That's the goal. Like, they shouldn't have to know. Like, it should be normal. And it should be like, they should already be in like the same position than the dude learning to snowboard next to them. Like, that's good.
Yeah, like we're not squawking about all this shit so we can squawk forever.
No.
Like, we really want to stop squawking.
We want it to change. Yeah. For sure.
You guys are doing fucking great. We got a Patreon question. Thank you so much to all of our Patreon members. This is from BJ Emery. Jess, Luke, and crew. Well, Luke's not here anymore. But congratulations on another industry-changing event. I am a huge fan. What is it like to be in a spot where you are redefining the snowboard community and making it approachable to everyone? What's it like?
Stressful.
Panic attacks,
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves.
I feel like we have to, though, you
Yeah.
know, because it's like people will be there with a fine-tooth comb going through every detail and criticizing it, you know, and because we are women and no one's seen anything like this before in women's snowboarding, so it is the first, and you should be proud, Jess.
Yeah.
I will be proud in a while, I think. I still have not been able to, like, process any. I'm still in survival mode, I feel like, until everything's scanned and all the pavements
We're
are
still
out.
in it.
We're still in it for at least another month, and then I feel like I'll be able to go back, watch the live feed again, and be more excited. But I definitely had some moments, especially watching the live feed come on air. You guys should just watch it. It's so sick. The audio isn't really synced, but
Dope. I would love to hear from your guys' perspective, too, about what goes on behind the scenes to create an event like this, because there's a huge runway. It's multiple events. There's logistical nightmare, communications nightmare, communications with brands, riders, everything else. Go ahead. Fire it up.
In a nutshell, it's a lot of moving parts. Like, you'll hear that phrase a lot, where there's people think that people that attend the event, they get to show up, they get to see it or ride in it, but they don't realize all the effort and work that goes into behind the scenes. And I mean, when I say literal blood, sweat, and tears, it's like there is blood, because Jess is out there putting signage up and like making sure the branding is on point, and like making sure that is pro as fuck when the girls go out there and compete.
getting my hand caught in the drill in the meantime because I'm trying to do it so quickly that there is blood.
Yeah, but it's like it does take a village too. It's like we accepted help when people were asking like, hey, is there anything I can do? And we'd be like, yes, absolutely, there is something you can do. And just like people extending that help, it empowers us to be able to focus on what we need to focus on to get done. But yeah, it was basically 6 months of planning. We had an event in Europe called the Euro Qualifier, and we were able to bring out 3 girls from Europe and pay their ticket out and be able to be here because it is expensive to fly from other countries to the U.S. and the opportunities happen in the U.S. We don't know that because we're in it, mm-hmm. But it's like, I mean, Jess, you've experienced this being even Canadian. Yeah. You're over here.
Being right next door. I mean, look at all like Frank Bourgeois. How come he never won? How come he never like really made money off snowboarding besides X Games, Real Snow, or so many French Canadian riders that were so much better than everyone but didn't make it. But I feel like the answer to that question is it's so much. It's so like that just sounds like cliche to say it's so much, but Ben will attest to that because I was already working on it for 3 or 4 months before Nirvana came in, and it's like it's 7 days a week. It's from when I wake up in the morning to just before I go to sleep at night, and then sometimes I get up again and work on it. Like I was telling Abby, like oftentimes I will realize at like 5 p.m. that I still haven't put pants on, and I'm just sitting there in my underwear with my top half dressed to do all the Zoom meetings, to do all the, and I just get stuck on like the spreadsheets, the logistics, the details, the emails. It's just, it's way more than full time. Like I got to ride 12 days this year, 13 including the day that I rode on Sunday, you know, when I took 2 laps. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up. And it leaves very little room for any kind of personal joy or activity or anything. And that's why like we want to get more support so I can have more Nirvanas and Nirvana can have more Abbies and Abby can have more whoever she needs. Whatever you want, girl.
Yeah. I haven't done this large scale type of thing, but I hosted an event with Maria where we invited 40 riders from Scandinavia to do like a rail jam. And like to plan that, it was like 9 to 5 job for 4 months, just emailing and planning, and we are not good at that. Like we snowboard,
we're outdoor people.
We're like fucking hell. And if I was like an office person, maybe it wouldn't have been a 9 to 5 day for 4 months, but it was because I don't know how to do that. That shit is hard. like the logistics behind everything, the hitting up people, the sponsors, remembering what you did not write down that you were gonna remember.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, it's hard. Like planning is fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
The like when the event was on, I was like, thank God, now we can build stuff. Like that's something that I'm okay at. Jesus, that's great. But I feel like the work you do before the event even starts, and like this is a way smaller scale event that I'm talking about, but still like
I saw you guys doing the
work-
stencils.
Yeah, the work you put on when like the event is finally here, you're like, oh, this is the work I wanted. The dirty work that somebody would call it. That's the nice part. The dirty work for me is like all what you do behind the scenes, like those Zoom meetings and Jesus, that shit's hard. I'm sorry.
I messaged Liam from Natural Selection, and I was just like, I was like, do you ever feel like you're just gonna like have a heart attack and fall over and die? Like that's how much stress it feels like sometimes for weeks on end, and like from before it gets light in the morning until way after dark at night. Like it's so crazy. And he was like, yeah, I just started sleeping with like a notepad beside my bed. Shouts to Liam, by the way, for when I'm really doing badly, I'll hit him up and know that he's maybe doing worse. I mean that. He's an inspiration to me because Natural Selection is like this on steroids.
Logistical nightmare.
Yeah, like, and they're doing it in the backcountry. Like it's so crazy, but yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I have separation anxiety from my computer.
Yeah.
And I feel like last week I got tricked by Nirvana to be like, we're going to go to Woodward and check things out. And like, we'll just do one or a few laps for an hour. And we were out there for a few hours and I was panicking when we got home because I was like, I need to work.
Yeah, but you got it done though, right? You got the things done.
Yeah, I was up late because of the work that I couldn't do during the time we were snowboarding. But
They
no,
carry their computers in their snowboard backpacks.
I have my computer.
Boss.
But I'm really grateful to have been working for Nirvana and Jess because, I mean, you guys have feelings, we all have feelings, and it was nice to be able to feel our stuff and check in with each other and know that it's okay to feel what we're feeling and not get called out or being asked if it's that time of the month or something ridiculous. And
Jess is the best boss.
yeah,
for
truly.
sure.
And to like see Jess grind so hard and how much she cares about everybody involved, like all the volunteers and all the athletes, and her exhausting herself for the better of everybody else and neglecting her own well-being is just admirable. Maybe not healthy, but very admirable.
Don't do it.
Go snowboard
And,
more.
I mean, you just want to work your ass off for her because, yeah, I mean, fuck, I don't want to know snowboarding without Jess Kimura. I'm sorry.
Respect. I love that. And I do have to say also in regards to planning events, you know, like we do Bomb Hole Cup, and if we didn't have Jules working at the Bomb Hole,
We'd be fucked.
we would be
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
We,
It wouldn't
Bomb
be
Hole
happening
would
at
not
all.
work. The entire entity would be
Yeah.
fucked. Let me tell you, emails, don't really look at them. Like, I like she's just like on it. I look at them, forget to reply to him, but it's like boom, like all of the I don't know what you call it, but all of
Emails?
the moving parts and like organizations. I'm the guy that comes up with a stupid idea, and I'm like, we're gonna get a helicopter. I'm gonna figure this out. But like,
That's Ylfa now.
But yeah.
Just talk to me.
But she's the one that literally is like, and I don't think there'd be a dude that could do it. To be honest with you, like she's a superhero. So anyway, yeah.
I really recommend hiring women if you want your thing to work.
Totally.
Like
Fact.
Ben is probably like the most detail-oriented person I know, but still in a very like we had to do a Zoom practice before we brought him into Zoom meetings this year, and he still can't really log into his email, but he can shovel. But if you want someone who's going to go above and beyond and think of everything and remember everything that you said and asked them to do, and then come up with even more suggestions that are just going to help you grow, hire women. Sorry, guys. You're good at shoveling. We're good
agree.
at shoveling too, but there's just
fucking good.
some level of detail and attention to stuff that kind of just goes over a lot of guys' heads, I think. when you're dealing with sponsors, when you're dealing with brands, and just kind of, it's to our detriment too that, you know, we're always worried about the impression we're leaving, how other people are feeling. Like, is that person doing okay? Are they happy with this? But all of that adds up to like sponsors that are really happy with the final product and riders that feel like they're really taken care of and cared about.
Attention to detail, I'll say, from my perspective with your guys' event, does not go unnoticed. It does not go unnoticed. Like, it's, you guys, like, from the little poppers and the champagne and the celebration and the corral.
Face tattoos.
And the face tattoos. It's just all of, like, the entire setup and the lips being low and the fucking stairs that you can just roll down if you want. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's awesome. So good job, guys. You guys did something very special, and you guys should be proud. I hope you guys allow yourself to be proud of what you did too, because
some point,
basket.
Work in progress.
We'll get there.
Cool. What are you gonna say, Nirvana?
I also wanted to say that it's just as important for the men to show up too and to help support.
I gotta say something here. I was really surprised and disappointed at how many people showed up to watch the girls. I was expecting like a huge crowd of people. This is Salt Lake. This is the epicenter of snowboarding. That was one of the reasons I wanted to have the event here. And there was like, there was about the same amount of people that we had in Tahoe last year, maybe a little bit more. But I was really surprised about that. And that's not me like, oh, my feelings are hurt or any kind of ego thing or anything. But like the way that I pictured this event was both sides just lined with people screaming for the girls and just pushing them that like, instilling in them even more that they're just fucking rock stars, so they would ride like rock stars, and they still did. But I was really surprised. Like, I don't know if there was like a hockey game or something that day or what it was, but I was surprised that more people didn't show up. Like, as from before, everyone I talked to was like, oh, we're gonna be there, everyone I know is gonna be there, but where were they? So
to be fair though, when we got down to the food trucks, I do think there was quite a bit of people. But
I'm talking standing room only.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's fine. It doesn't like take away from it, but I would have liked to see that everyone that always says, you know, like we support the girls to come out and support the girls
physically.
Yeah, I think it is really important to show up. I mean, Nirvana and I are talking about that, not to like toot our own horns or anything, but I mean, last year when it went on, we were talking about how we just felt like such a need to be there,
compelled
to support what you were doing and to support the community and the riders and everyone involved. And I mean, I'm super grateful to be a part of it this year, but I mean, shout out to the crews that did come out, like part-time Babe Club driving out from Mammoth and Kim Woozy, some of the Skate Like a Girl crew coming out from California.
Everyone who made a sign and rang a cowbell and put face tattoos
cowbells
on.
are fucking awesome, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you.
Jess's idea.
Yeah.
It's all Jess's idea.
I want to like go back and log every time one of those orders was made. I bet it was all like 2 a.m. things where I'd shoot out of bed and be like, cowbells. We need cowbells. We need giant poster markers.
I got another idea. This is a motocross thing. And I keep one in my camper because I'm a motocross enthusiast. And so when your buddies are racing and they come around, there's these pump air horns. You hear them at soccer games. Burr, burr, burr. It's like it's a horn.
I had those in my cart.
Yeah, I would next year. That's like I feel like that adds. Like, I mean, that you got cowbell, and then I'm just saying
air horns.
Did you not think that would terrify the riders as they're dropping
Good point.
in? Like you're wearing a helmet in motocross, right? You can kind of muffle it a bit.
It's very loud. Yeah, the dirt bike's loud. You can't even really hear it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know, for awards or whatever, it like creates that energy. Like you ever hear soccer games, you know, in the crowd, you hear like international, I guess football or whatever the hell they call it. I don't watch it, but you know,
it's there.
It's there. I got another Patreon question from Michael Edmondson, not Edmonton. Michael Edmondson. Thanks for support on Patreon. Where can we get uninvited merch? That's it. Take my money. Thanks for helping the girls get their shine. What a friggin' contest.
We have wanted to do this for a while, but we just have been dying and just have to like focus on making the contest happen. But we are going to be working on this, and you can just stay tuned to our website and our social media. I feel really bad selling merch for some weird reason. I feel like I just want to give everyone everything for free, but the more money we can bring in, the more money we can give to the girls. And trust me, the more any chance I get to give more money to the girls, to give more resources to the girls, it's going there. And I want to be able to hire more girls to help us too.
I like that. We have another question from Joey's Footbeds. Jess, I imagine making the uninvited event happen is so much work. Is it worth it? Question mark.
Yes.
Yes, it is
Yes,
worth it.
it's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it for sure. I'm just still damaged and not done yet. Ask me in a month. I'll be like, hell yeah, it was so worth it. I can't wait to do it again. But I think right now I'm like, I don't know if I could do it again. But I will do it again. We will do it again.
We already have asking people when we're doing it again and where.
Well, if we do it again here, I really hope that Salt Lake shows up next time for the girls and just lines the streets with screaming shirtless men. We had body paint, and only one shirtless man used it.
I was feeling bloated. I thought about it. I didn't feel comfortable, but I
But if there would,
respect
like, okay, I gotta give the shout out to the spectators at Absolute Park. There was like a crew of like 5 Estonian men with no shirts on, with their chests painted, and they were carrying the girls up the course on their shoulders. Like it was so sick.
I think they had glitter too.
They had glitter, yeah.
I guess that kind of answers the next question. BJ Emery wants to know, congrats. What's up for the uninvited? Woody's and uninvited question mark. I think like, where are we going in the future?
I don't know. I mean, it was sweet. Like, how many shirtless men can you sell me on next year for coming back here? I mean,
Europe.
I do
It's
think
the finals in
that
Europe.
people kind of need that repetition.
Yeah.
You know, to that people will start catching on. They hear about it and they're like, "Oh, let's prioritize this." I think event fatigue might potentially have a.
You know where it doesn't have event fatigue? The East Coast.
The East Coast.
Yeah.
People,
I think like growing up on the East, I'm from Massachusetts. Events go crazy back east, and you have you have like kind of like the tri-state area of New York and New Jersey, which is like these densely settled cities, and then you have Boston and Massachusetts, you have New Hampshire, you have Maine, and they're all within like 4 hours. So there's all these densely settled communities that are all within 4 hours. So when you put on an event, like people just come the fuck out of the woodwork for it. So and they love snowboarding back there. So.
good things to consider.
yeah, there's Woody's locations elsewhere.
Yep.
And I think like another reason we chose Salt Lake was because all the girls would, like last year we did it in Tahoe, and it's expensive to get hotel rooms. Like we're on the ground with these girls and talking with them all the time, and we know the struggles they're going through and the fact that like they don't know if they can pay their rent next month. How am I going to ask them to cross the fucking pond and get a hotel room in California, and here, because so many, like we had so many people, we called them our foster kids. We had a foster list tab on our spreadsheet for like people who didn't have a place to stay or had never been here before or don't ever ride from the airport. And so many people came through in Salt Lake to house the girls and to foster them.
Kalia going to the airport, picking up like 15 people with the
With
sign. That was like
she had a
so
sign for every
sweet.
single one. Like,
Amazing.
Yeah, this was what I was gonna say on this topic. Is like Salt Lake is good for this reason because a lot of people are staying with friends, and it makes it way cheaper for people to come. So,
but the more money we raise, like I mean, my dream is to, first of all, to give away a car, and I need to say that out loud because I will give away a car one day. It may be like a 2-year lease to start, but
Danny's selling his Buick. It's $1,000 in the parking lot, smashed window. But anyway, sorry, continue.
But to be able to like fly everyone over, pay for all their accommodation, like put them up and make it so that it's not a burden on them. They want to come to this event that's so sick, but it's going to like cost them most of their season's budget. Like, I don't want that. And that's why we had the European event, to try to do something towards that. Like, you can't do it all right away, but I hope one day we can.
Gangster. I love it. We got another Instagram question. This is from Blakea. I think I'm saying that right. First, thank you for your amazing work. Second, how can we bring more diversity into the sport?
That one's a I don't want to say a tough one, but I think that it's happening. It's like currently happening. There's not only like one group that's advocating for this, but there's multiple. Like this year, you saw, you have Technically Doing It doing an event out in Europe at the same time that we had soy sauce out in Boreal. There's other groups that are advocating for this space and creating space like Part-Time Babe Club. That's like ran by BIPOC women as well, and like a mix. And
Culture Shifters.
Just went down. Yeah, that just happened.
Hoods to Woods, kind of different but similar.
Yeah, there's ways to get involved, like Park Affair too. There's ways to get involved, groups to be a part of, and I think just showing up and being there and showing that there is a need for it and that people are interested, then that's like when people that are behind the scenes, like at these brands or whatever, like they start taking note.
Yeah, I have a question from you guys navigating the industry from a female perspective. Do you have any advice if anybody's listening and they're like, I want to get into this? How do I get my foot in the door?
Show up to events, make yourself present, known by being there. I think that for me personally has been the biggest thing, is I made my own relationships with people in the industry, and I feel like that's really helped.
What do you think is more important, degree or relationships?
Relationships. I dropped out of high school. Sorry, I didn't drop out. I had no choice. I'm not a skid like Jess. I'm so joking. Sorry. Don't fire me.
I'm proud skid.
Sorry.
All right, what's a skid?
Oh yeah, you guys don't say that.
I don't know what a skid is.
I don't know
Canadian
either.
term?
What?
I don't.
A skid
don't
is
look
like
at me.
your fucking dirt bag, like a skid mark in your underwear.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
That's so.
That's so crazy to me. You guys don't know what that is, and also that people are offended when I say buddy. Like, buddy is like, I've gotten this so much lately, and people being like, yeah, you do call people buddy a lot, and it's a little rude. Like, I mean that as a Canadian, as like friend, not like, hey pal, you want to go?
It's condescending as fuck.
No,
in
it's
America.
not. I know, in America, and I didn't know
really,
that.
buddy? You're gonna do that, buddy?
I didn't know that, and we found that out in Japan this year when Kalia was like, yeah, you yeah, someone got upset with me. I started asking other people, and they were like, yeah, buddy's whack, buddy's whack, buddy's whack, and I'm in the I'm in the van with Ben, and he's like, maybe that's why my snowboard career went nowhere, because I started and ended every email with, hey buddy, later bud. But we do, and now I'm trying to stop. But just if I buddy anyone, just know that it's with
love.
Yeah, it's with love.
Oh yeah.
Okay, a couple more things. We're gonna wrap this thing up. This is an interesting one from Tom Smithy Smith. Great name. Mia Brooks, MVP ? Stock keeps going up. You guys got any takes on Mia Brooks?
I mean, Mia's sick, and I feel like I'd be interested to ask her what her view of everything was when she was growing up, because she's, to me, seems like one of those girls who never saw a difference and never felt a difference, because she rides like there is no difference.
Yeah. That's fair enough. I think so. Like she's like incredible at snowboarding. She has like everything ahead of her.
Like she sees no limits.
No, she sees no limits. She's it. She's the dream. She's what we've been working for. She's what we're working on.
We must protect her at all
costs. Protect me at all costs. Like, she's amazing. Okay. Yeah.
We had David Benedict on recently. I remember he said that she was his goat. Like, I thought that was so cool. From somebody who's an older gentleman that's done a lot in snowboarding, but a totally different generation. I just thought that was awesome. Yeah.
That is so sick.
And I couldn't agree with more of what you're saying. And then this is from Begsy Rides. Val's backside air into the orbit and parachuting into the history books at the Nines. If you guys saw it, Valentino Gaselli did I think it was like an 11-meter backside air. Not entirely sure what a meter is, but give or take 30 feet.
Is that a guy?
I think it was about 34 feet.
Yeah, I only actually paid attention to Brooke Haunt's world record breaking.
Wasn't it 17 meters or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many meters, but I flipped by we just don't care that much. I care more about seeing the girl do it. So, who's Val?
He's
He's fucking good. Though.
Okay, I believe
animal.
it. There's
He's
so
an
many, so many guys that are so good. But for me to see a girl do something like that, knowing that she grew up with dealing with the same shit that we did, and she was still able to push through that and go that high, that's what inspires me, for sure. Guys have tons of fans out there. You guys have enough.
I like the take. I love it. You got a take. Any other takes? No?
I have a take on that event. Am I allowed?
Yeah, let it rip.
Here we go.
I love it.
I think that 9. Do you remember like how sick it was in the beginning? Like the Audi 9s. I don't know. Maybe it's a European thing because it's a Europe event. But it was so fucking cool and special and unique, I feel like. But now I feel like it has drifted a little bit off its like origin, where it was like so much for the riders, and now it's like to create world records for some reason. And I don't know if that's because you get money or media or hype, but I don't know if like all the riders, I don't know, of course they're down, but like it just looks like crazy. Like it was like originally when they built it, like some of the girls did their first 10s, like the jumps were
Mia
perfect.
did the first 12.
Yeah, and like Kokomo did some crazy
that,
shit, and like it was all built for them to like do a trick that they've been dreaming of doing and having the perfect setup to do it. And now it feels like
it's eliminating.
I'm just looking at the course, and I've not been there, but I'm just like talking out of my ass. But kind of like, it looks like they're drifting off to something that they're like trying to impress the media more so than like get the riders kind of to do their, I don't know, dream tricks in a way. But maybe it's their dream tricks, I don't know.
Do you think that that's why they're doing it, though, is to get more eyes on it from the general public rather than people who don't know what a 9 is or a back 10 or something?
I don't know.
But I feel like I remember when it was, the courses looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were like
Aero-lit.
castles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I was interested. It was like also
And they also invited like 7 girls, 7 guys or something, and then just they do crazy shit.
Is this the thing that was 9 queens?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember watching those edits and watching I watched the ski one so many times, and I don't really like pay attention to skiing, but it was when the girls were really in real time progressing and doing all this crazy shit.
Yeah,
I remember
that's the event. That's why I
the
remember
same.
this event. It was like so cool because it was like real life watching like new
progression
tricks go
happen
down
in real time. Yeah,
you could just watch the recap and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna see 5 new tricks go down. But now I feel like it's like, but this is like, I have no place saying this. I've never fucking been there. But like, it's just like my observation from like seeing it on media now and being like, I thought it was so cool so recently, but now I'm like not for it in a way. I don't know.
You know what I do admire about the event itself, though, is the if you look, we had Super Park back in the day, where it was like, if the people want to go fucking huge, here's your place to go huge. And that's kind of, I feel like we've gone away from that, whether because it's like either you're doing 1800s or like big slopestyle tricks on a slopestyle course or a big air jump. But I do like to see, and it felt like to me snowboarding went a little more relatable or video part or whatever, but I do like the fact that people are still pushing it, if they want to, in the direction of going fucking huge. If that's your avenue and you have a place to do it, I think it's cool. I love having all avenues of snowboarding, and I like to see that going huge is getting watered a little bit as well. You know, if we're looking at each avenue as a plant, you know, visually, you know, they need their water. The down bars need their water. The fucking huge guys going 90 feet on the hip need a water, whatever, you know. So that's my take.
I will say, like, organizing events, it's hard. Like, there is stuff like what Abby's saying behind the scenes where you're like, you're literally like, your event is literally going to either happen or not happen based on this thing that a lot of people might think is super lame, but that's the only way that it's going to happen. That's the only way that that you can get your foot in the door to get the sponsorship money and stuff. But that's why we will not have our event at a Vail Resort, or like even if we would get the free truck, you know, because like that, but that's like where I'm in a position to be able to do that because I'm still getting paid to be a pro snowboarder. If my like life depended and me paying my rent depended on this completely, then maybe I would be making different choices. So I guess that's my position is total like privilege kind of, because it's like makes no difference to me whether our event makes money or not. Even if it did make money, it would just go back to the riders because I don't need to get paid from it, you know? Don't fire me, brands. Keep me around so I can keep doing this, please. Thank you. I'll do good things.
All right. I like that. It's pretty much summer. You guys got any fun plans? What are we doing this summer, guys?
I want to take these girls on a surf trip. They deserve it. They deserve it.
Where are we going?
Probably Mexico, because we're an affordable. We're focused on affordability.
Rights, lefts? I know
All rights, sorry, Nerve.
Nerve's bagging lefts.
I like to go left, but Jess got me going right.
Yeah, I took her to a place where you can really only go right, and she went right.
I'm so down.
It was so.
I'm so down.
Nerve is so like unassuming and like innocent looking, but we noticed like when she was in with our pack, because we're kind of a loser pack, but when she was in with our pack, everyone's wave count went up because everyone would just back off because she catches every wave she paddles for and she fucking rips. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Low-key surf god.
Yeah, that's sick.
Fun. And what are you doing this summer?
More rehab, like hopefully skate.
Drug or body?
Body on my
Body to start.
body. I'm still coming off like my big injury where I tore my Achilles, so I'm still doing my physio and rehab. I'm hoping to be able to skate at some point, but like probably I will try not to go crazy.
I was gonna say
that.
don't push that. Snowboarding needs you, Ylfa.
Yeah.
And congrats on coming off the cover this year. We didn't talk about that. How'd that feel to get that?
That was epic.
Photo's sick. We got to have you sign that before you
thanks.
leave. Don't let us forget.
Yeah. I feel like that was a cool find in Japan and felt like there was no chance of getting away with it, but I was just like being a dreamer. And the guys just backed it. They were all like, yep, if you see it, we see it. And it was just like a big open, like, kind of like a lake under it. So we shoveled for so long to try to fill in some snow the night before. Didn't work, so we went and got some plywoods and put over the water and then shoveled. They were like, yes, it's finally working. Like, so we got a little bit of right away out of it. So that's sick. Yeah. Cool. It was a fun find, like cool color. It was nice.
Right behind you.
We tried to, we had all year planned a feature in tribute to this that we were calling the Rock Sorter.
Wow.
But it didn't make it. Never mind.
Never mind.
See you next
We
year.
got word from Ben.
Wow.
Yeah, we just wanted you to know it had a great effect on us.
Cool.
Had a great effect on us.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's
Did you get
so
surprised
cool.
by did they surprise you when you got, like, how did you find out about the cover?
About the cover?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool because I was pretty far down in my injury. Like, everyone was starting to snowboard again, and I was just like, I was still like, sometimes using my crutches type of situation. I was like, fuck, this sucks kind of thing. And it came out in like around Christmas, like just after Christmas, I feel like between like end of December anyway. And I was just like outside. I was just like, we were like going to a friend's place and I wasn't even really walking at that time. So I was sitting on like a sled being like pushed around. And then Stan called me on FaceTime.
I remember seeing this, actually.
Yeah, and I was
saw it on
just
the
sitting on the sled like, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, I would like to think that we're great friends, so he could have called me for no reason. and I was just like, hey, what's up? Like, and then he was like, just revealed it. And I was like, 100% not expecting that. So, yeah, it came at a great time for me, for sure. It was like, wow, that feels nice. Because it felt like I was so low when I got it, so it was sick. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Been a good show, guys. I had fun chatting. Did you guys have fun?
So much fun.
Cool. Thanks for coming and chatting with us.
Thanks for the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the vegan pizza.
Yep. Thanks, Ben, for being in studio. Good having you. Taylor Swift does friendship bracelets, too.
Really? I don't know anything about Taylor Swift except that she brings the crowd.
Except that you want her at that.
No, I want her numbers at
Okay.
the Uninvited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or numbies.
They're Swifties.
My fiance is a Swifty. I know a lot about it. I'm a big.
I
got a
don't
lot
get
of-
it. I do not get it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much for having us. Really want to thank everyone who helped out with the event, all the sponsors. Check out the live feed and everyone who watched. Thanks for giving a shit about the girls.
Well, we appreciate you, Jess. Do you want to take us out of the show, Jess? Why don't you wrap up? Why don't you take us out of the show?
I don't really know how to.
It's easy.
Ylfa, do you want to take us out?
Ylfa, yeah, hit
Ylfa,
it.
you take us out.
Thanks to the media. Shouts to the media.
Yes.
For,
and the girls.
enduring the sun burn. And the girls, yeah.
And the girls
Riders.
ripping.
Yeah. What about the builders?
Fuck.
We already
Huge
thanked them.
shout out.
No,
Yeah.
no, don't think Ben.
All right.
shout out.
Everyone
thanks
but
to
Ben.
Ben, but big thanks to Maddie Montgomery and Jack and Rory and Jacob for all the extra hours they put in. I actually am gonna give Jacob my gift bag from we got like these sick North Face duffels. And,
For heli boarding.
For heliboarding.
Or
Jacob's gonna get my gift bag, so shouts.
it's been a nice set. Over and out from the Bommel.
Yes!
Nice.
That's perfect. End on that.